So if we don't have any limiting beliefs, we would have become super successful. Okay? If a person, not you, I'm just talking about any person, if somebody does not have a limiting belief, they would have become super successful in life. Alright? So if somebody is not highly successful, that means there is something that is holding them back. Okay? So, when did you start the business?
The 2018, December 28.
Okay, so 4 months.
2 months.
2 months. Or end of December, so January, February, okay, 2 months. Alright. So, okay, 2 months is a little bit too early to judge how successful you are in the business already. But I know a few people who maxed out in the business in 8 months. Okay, the fastest somebody has maxed out in our business is 8 months. 8 months they maxed out. Alright? And I also know people after 8 years also they have not maxed out. Okay? So, what do you think is the difference between these two people? The people who have maxed out in 8 months and the people who have not maxed out even after 8 years. What is the difference?
Masa ating success kena ada limit believe kini deh.
8 months, the person who's maxing out after 8 months, he don't have limiting belief.
He has, but very, very, very less compared to the other person. Right? Okay. So, in 2 months, you have to look at the results what you have achieved. In 2 months, whatever results you have achieved, that will tell you whether you have any limiting belief or not.
මල්ලි මාස දෙකකින් ඔයාලට ලැබිලා තියෙන මොනවාද ප්‍රතිඵල ටිකක් තියෙනවනේ. ඒ ප්‍රතිඵල ඇත්තටම ඔයාලට කියනවා ඔයාලට සීමාකාරී විශ්වාස තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රතිඵල ගොඩාක් වැඩිද අඩුද කියන එකට මාස දෙක ඇතුලේ ඔයාලට ලැබිලා තියෙන ප්‍රතිඵල. හරි.
Okay? Now you don't have to tell me what result you have achieved. Doesn't matter.
ඔයාලට මට කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මොනවද අරන් තියෙන results කියලා ඔයාලටම තේරෙනවා කියලා.
Alright? But if you are happy with the results,
ඔයා ප්‍රතිඵල එක්ක මේ මාස දෙක ඇතුලේ සන්තෝෂ නම්,
and if you think that that's fantastic results, and if you continue that way, maybe in the next few months, 6 months, 8 months, you can max out.
ඔයාට හිතනවා නම් ඒක සුපිරි අරන් තියෙන ප්‍රතිඵල ටික මේ ලයින් එකේම දිගටම ගියොත් මාස 8කින් විතර max out වෙයි කියලා.
Then no problem. Just keep doing what you're doing.
එහෙනම් කිසිම අවුලක් නැහැ. ඔයා දැන්ට කරගෙන යන ටික වැඩ ටික ඒ විදිහටම කරගෙන යන්න.
Okay, if you are not able to identify any limiting beliefs, no problem.
ඔයාට කිසිම සීමාකාරී විශ්වාසයක් අඳුරගන්න බැරි වුණා කියන එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ අතන.
You don't have to force a limiting belief.
ඔයාට බල කළා මොන හරි එකක් අඳුරගන්න හරි දාගන්න හරි ඕනේ නැහැ සීමාකාරී විශ්වාසයක්.
Okay? But I have not met any human being without a limiting belief.
හැබැයි මට කිසිම මිනිසෙක් හම්බ වෙලා නැහැ සීමාකාරී විශ්වාසයක් නැති.
Everybody has.
හැමෝටම තියෙනවා.
Alright? Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So, the main reason why we are discussing so much about activation is because, is there anybody sitting here who does not want to max out? Nobody? Everybody want to max out?
Yeah.
Why? Why you want to max out?
to be the best.
Just for the fun. Your dream. But your dreams is max out. Anyway, that's okay. If you want to make big money, okay, like max out. Max out is small money or big money? It's big money, it's huge. So, if you want to max out, the reason why our business gives big money, not small money, the big money, the main reason why there is big money in our business is because of something called as duplication. This is the main reason why our business gives big money. Now, if you want to earn big money in any area, unless that method of making money has this in it, very difficult to make big money. For example, your job that you do, when you work in a job, why is it very difficult to make big money in a job?
Working along.
Because there is no duplication. It's your personal time and your personal effort. You are not able to, and there is no leverage or there is no duplication. Alright? When you start a business, let us say you do a small business, you have a shop, you're selling something in that shop. Very difficult to make big money also. Why? Because just one unit, one shop, there is no duplication. If you look at any person making big money, okay? Can you give some examples of people who make big money? Huh? Dhammika Pereira, who is that? Sri Lankan investor. Okay. Okay. So, how does he make the money? Huh? Business.
He has owned finance companies.
Okay. He has 200 over companies. Okay, 60,000 people working and all that stuff. So there is leverage and duplication. Alright? Any other examples? Huh? Bill Gates. Okay. Warren Buffett. Jeff Bezos. Okay. Let me also give you of individuals without big company making big money also. Huh? Mark Zuckerberg has a company. So the company you understand very clearly. Anybody who has big company, there is clearly duplication and leverage. But let me also give you examples of individuals, no company, but also making big money.
Actors. Shahrukh.
Yeah, so actors, musicians like Michael Jackson, alright? They make big money. Why? Because they are able to do this. But their way of duplication is different. Whatever they produce, the production, okay, whether it is music or movie or whatever, that product has the ability to duplicate. Alright? So you act in a movie. The movie can be sold 1,000,000 times. You understand? If they produce a song can be sold millions of times. Even after the person is dead, he's still making money from the music he made, I don't know, 30 years ago. So the product can be duplicated. The end result of that person's work is something that can be duplicated. So either you should be creating something which can be duplicated, and then you have to market and duplicate it, or you need to have a company which helps you to leverage and duplicate your efforts. But without this, it doesn't matter what you do, there's no big money. Whether you do work in a job, you work in a small shop, or you are a musician, or you are an actor, or whatever, unless these things happen, you cannot make big money. You understand? You can be doing network marketing and making small money if there is no duplication in your team. So just because you're doing network marketing does not guarantee you big money. The only way you can make big money in this is if you're able to create a duplication. Okay? So duplication is what? 1 becoming 2, becoming 4, 8, 16. What is next? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is next? 2, 5, 6, 5, 1, 2. Okay? Now, let us say you take, instead of starting with 1, let us say you're starting with 2 and you're duplicating. Or let us say you're starting with 3. Okay? No, I am sorry. Remove the 1. Okay, so you start with 2, you have your 2, and then the 2 becomes 4, 8, and all that. So after 10, it becomes 1024. Alright? Now if you start with 3, just 1 more. The next is 6, then 12, then 3 times 3, I'm sorry. Some of you actually went to school. So 3 times 3 is 9, 27, 81, 2, 4, 3. 6, 5, 6, 1, 19, 6, 8, 3, 5, 9, 0, 4, 9. So that is 10 times. 10 levels. Okay? 10 levels of duplication. So you go for 5. Okay? Okay, so with 5, 25, 125, 625, 3125. Okay, 15, 625, 78, 125, 3, 96, 25, 1953, 125, 9765 625. Okay. So the difference here between this and this is 1. The difference between here and here is 2. But the difference between here and here, almost 50,000, like 49,000. Huh? 58,000, I'm sorry, 58,000. And the difference between this and this is almost 900,000. But here is only 1 or 2. Here it's 1, here it's 2. But with just 10 levels, how many levels of duplication? Only 10 levels. Only 10 levels of duplication, the difference is huge. It's very, very big. Now, if you are in a business, if you are in whatever business, doesn't matter. But if the business gives you some money for the sales that happens, these are all sales, okay? So if a business gives you some money for sales, even if it's $1 a sale, let's just assume for the simplicity of calculation, because I know some of you did not go to school, so big calculation will be difficult. So let's say $1. Here, $2, $4, $8, you get $1,000. All right, with just 10 levels of duplication, even with just 2. But here with 3, after 10 levels, you get almost $60,000. If you are duplicating 5, you're close to $1 million. All right, but when you are starting, the difference here is only 1 and 2 and 3. That's all. The difference is very, very small here. So if you have a mechanism, with which you can create duplication, then after a few levels, the amount of money you can earn is mind-blowing. It's huge. All right? So for this to happen, you need mainly 2 things. 1, you need a vehicle which can actually duplicate. Whatever you're working on should have the ability to duplicate. So if you're working in a job, it doesn't matter what job it is, it does not have the ability to duplicate. You understand? So this is impossible in a job, because that vehicle, which is a job, cannot duplicate. If you have a shop, it cannot duplicate. If you are a doctor, cannot duplicate. All right, doesn't matter how much money you make by being that one person. If what you're working on, if that cannot duplicate, this is impossible. Okay, so that's the first thing you need. You need the vehicle that you're working on which has the capacity to duplicate. It should have the ability to duplicate, all right? So, that's first. Second thing is, you should know how to duplicate. Even if you're working in a vehicle that can duplicate, unless you know how to create that duplication, it is not going to happen. Do you understand? So, you need these 2 aspects. First of all, you need to start with something which can duplicate. All right, that's the first step. The second step is, after you start with that, then you should know how to make it duplicate. Because you can have the vehicle which can duplicate, but if you don't know how, again, it's not useful. You still cannot make the big money. So people who don't know how to create this in their business, they are stuck here and here. These 2-3 levels. because their business is only on their own effort. Again, they are not able to create the duplication. So they are there, then one or two people are there. They build the team, and by the time it reaches this level, a lot of people quit. Because that system for duplication is not there. They don't know how. Alright? So, because of the commitment of the person and the hard work of the person here, it's growing, but from 27 to go to 81, it's not possible to make that happen by one or two people. You understand? It is not possible. So then what happens is, a lot of these people, they quit, they leave. Their team is, the active people in their team pretty much is in this numbers. Not the total people, the active people. Alright? Unless the active people are duplicating, this does not happen. This growth doesn't happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I know a lot of hard-working networkers who are working hard, but at any point in time, the team that they have, the number of active people is the same. The number of active people does not increase. So what that means is their understanding about how to grow their business, that is the ceiling, that number is the ceiling. Whether it is 50 people or 100 people or 200 people, but that's all they know how to build the team. Alright? So, all of you are in this business, so you have the vehicle. So, that's clear. The second thing you need is your knowledge of how to create the duplication. That knowledge is the next part. Alright? And each of you need to have it. It's not enough for your upline to have it. Alright? It's not enough for your upline to have it. You need to also have that knowledge and the skill. Because your upline, there can be many people. And you could be here. And the upline has the system and everything is working. But for you to have a team of almost 1 million people, this system alone is not enough. You should be able to create your own duplication system. Do you understand? So, if you want this kind of growth for you, if you want to make this kind of money, you have to make duplication happen in your personal team. Alright? So, to help this duplication happen, we have created a system, alright, which we call as the 4 levels of duplication. Alright? Now, to make this happen to deep levels, see the power of this. Where is the power of duplication? Is it here? Is it here?
No.
It's here, correct?
Yes.
So even with 2, you can still make big money. Even with 2, you can still make big money. Go to 15 levels or go to 20 levels. You're making obscene amount of money now. So it's not so much here. Right? If you make $1 per sale, even if you do 100 here, that's not big money. It's just $100. You can make 1,000. It's still $1,000. There's no big money. The big money is only when you drive duplication down. And when you drive it down, even if you don't have 5, even with 2, you can still make big money. All right? So to make this happen, you need a very clear approach. It has to be very clear. Can you make everyone duplicate?
No.
Impossible. It doesn't happen. Everybody will never duplicate. So you need to have a very practical approach to make this happen. And that is this 4 levels of duplication. All right, so I'll explain to you what this 4 levels of duplication is. With your personal involvement, with your personal hard work, you can make duplication happen for maybe 2, 3, or 4 levels. Even if there is no other leader. All right, you with your own personal involvement and hard work and your time commitment, this is very much possible. Okay, so what does 4 levels of duplication mean? This is you bring 2 directs. So this is your first level. You work with these 2 directs. This is your second level. This is your third level. And this is your fourth level. So, depending on your ability, you can at least do 1 or 2 or 3 levels. Do you understand? With your personal involvement. Right? Even if there is no other big leaders developing in your team, with you actually working with these people, this is possible. Even if not 4th level, at least till 3 levels is possible. You understand? So, based on this is your first chunk. You understand chunk, the word chunk? Segment. Okay, the first segment where you focus on in your business. This is your first segment, all right? Now, after we do this, now how many do you have in your team? 15 and 15, correct? 30 people. Out of 30 people, there you can work with, there will be at least 1 or 2 or 3 people. Let us take 2 people here and 2 people here out of 15. 2 people whom you can influence and work with them to make their own 4 levels of duplication happen. Do you understand? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
All the 15 might not. But some of them have seen the power of the business. They have come for trainings. You are working with them to change their mindset. You're doing everything, right? So, from 15, maybe you might be able to change 2 people's mindset. All right? Out of 13, maybe 4 people. So, what are you doing? You are showing them the power of the business, all this, and get the commitment from maybe 2 people to make this happen in their team. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. So if you make that happen, what are we looking at? 2 people doing 30 each, correct?
Yes.
So 2 people doing 30 each is how much?
60.
60 and 60. How much money do you make? So here it is 15 and 15. 15 and 15, how much money do you make? Huh? 200 rupees. or 200,000 rupees. Okay. Roughly 200,000 rupees for 15 and 15. Okay. 60. How much? 540,000. How was it? This one is 200,000. 1 lakh and 35,000. Okay. 1.35. So this is 5.4. Now, by the time this one reaches here, you have a clear system of how to have 4 levels of duplication happen. You're clear on that. Alright? So now you and these two people can influence at least 4 or 5 from 60 to work with you to make this happen for their team. Not all the 60, not even half, but maybe 4 people, maybe 6 people. Okay? So if you go with minimum 4 people, they're doing 30-30, how much are you getting? 120 and 120. Now by that time, many people here are earning checks. They're also familiar with 4 levels of duplication and all that. From 120 people, if you can influence maybe 10%, just 10%. You're looking at 12 people. Let's say 10 instead of, for the simplicity of calculation, 10 people. You are worked with them, you are, changed their mindset, they have seen the big picture, you've taken the commitment from them. Okay? 10 people from 120 people. You're looking at what? 300 and 300, correct? So, this is basically the 4 levels of duplication method to max out. So we are taking every stage of growth and breaking that into 4 levels of duplication. Because 4 levels of duplication, you personally can create. If you are good in that mindset, knowledge, skill, and the activities, if you align those 3, even without anybody else, you can make it happen. It might take 6 months maybe, but it is possible for you personally. Alright? And when that happens, you have 30 people, you can definitely influence 2, 3, 4, 5 people from that to do what? To do 4 levels of duplication for them, that's it. You're not convincing them to go max out, you're not convincing them to sell their kidney or anything, nothing. 4 levels of duplication. So you work with them then, after that, to do 4 levels of duplication. So even if there is no other committed people, just you and this one person, 2 people alone can do 4 levels of duplication for that person. You understand? So you don't need everybody to be switched on and be committed and willing to walk on fire and all that stuff. No need. It starts with you. If you decide, you can make this happen. 4 levels. After 4 levels, you can definitely find 1 or 2 or 3 people. And if there's nobody under them who is serious or whatever, no problem. You and this person alone can make 4 levels happen for that person. Right? And we just keep doing that. Okay? 300 gives you how much? How much money do you get for 300 and 300? 2.7 million. Okay, so that's 27 lakhs. Now, for this to happen, this 4 levels to happen, how much time do you want to take? Let us assume you are the only active person, right? And you learn this skill of activation in 7 days or 10 days. Which means you can work, you bring 2 people, you can work with them because in the first 7 days, 10 days, they are switched on. You work with them and you get there 2 each. Alright? Let us say after that they don't do anything. Assume. Okay, worst case scenario, assume if they don't do anything. You work with these people, 4 people to get there 2 each. Alright? Now let us say maybe this person is not active or doesn't want to work or whatever, you work with them to get another director. Not everybody will be bringing 2 each exactly like how it is shown here. Alright, that's not going to happen also. So you personally working with these people, each of them, and activating them. How long would it take? How much time? 3 months? So this takes 3 months. This can take another 3 months then. This, let us say, takes 6 months. Because now the number of people more and all that, maybe it takes lesser time. And let us say this takes another 6 months. That's 1.5 years. That's not small money already for 1.5 years. And soon, within 2 to 3 years, you can max out. You understand? Within 2 to 3 years. So this is 4 levels of duplication. But to make this happen for you, you must be good at activating people. If you're not, that is the basic fundamental stepping stone. That is the, if you want to write a novel, you should learn the alphabets. Without learning the alphabets, it would be difficult to write. So this becoming an activation machine is like learning the alphabet. That's the first step. Alright, so you need to get good at that. And that is this whole today's discussion is about. But this is not just you learning about how to get a new BA, find 2 people. That is what this discussion is about, but that is towards this purpose. And what is this for? This is for max out. So we have a very clear, calculated system and approach to help you max out. But you have to follow this through all these levels. Okay? Now what happens, what I've seen usually with people is that they get good at some skills, okay? And they start signing up people, they are able to influence some people and all that. But there is no proper system that is being followed in the team. So their team growth is always stuck at some level like this, either 3 levels or 4 levels. Now when I say get stuck here, it doesn't mean that the total number of people are not increasing. That's not what it means. It means that the number of active people are always stuck in that number. Okay? For some people, it's always only 3 or 4 people active. Even after 2 years in the business, just 2-3 people active every time. But they're getting every week sign-ups. 2 sign-ups, 3 sign-ups. Which means that in a week they have 12 sign-ups. Alright, 12 new people. In a year they might have, 50 people. Or whatever. But still, the number of active people are only 2 or 3. So what does it mean? What does that mean? What do you think?
System is poor.
Yeah, there's no duplication, there's no system. They are the system, they are the only people who are able to do it. And that's very sad because that's not the power of this business. Okay? So, if you want to make big money, you have to make duplication happen in your team. Alright, there's no other option. That is the only way. Now, for duplication to happen, the first fundamental step is activation. A new BA should be able to find two people. Right? And if you want to reach this level, this max out in 2 to 3 years' time, then just to make activation happen, you cannot take 2 months. If one BA to do activation, if you're going to take 2 months, then this is going to take a long time. And then it will be difficult for you to retain people and all that stuff. So, you should learn and you should acquire the ability to activate people in 7 to 10 days. That's a decent speed. That's not too fast, that's not too slow. Alright? So, what we have been learning today is how to make that happen. How can you become an activation machine? How can you work with any new BA and influence their mindset and their skills and their activities so that they can find two people in 10 days. That's what we are discussing here. Alright? Now, you cannot influence somebody else's mindset if you don't know how to change your own mindset. The reason why a lot of people fail in changing somebody else's mindset is because they don't understand this thing called as mindset. They're not able to change their own mindset. So if you're not able to change your own mindset, how successful do you think you can be in changing somebody else's mindset? What do you think is your success chance? Huh? Zero. Because you don't understand this concept called as mindset. Right? If you don't have the knowledge and the skill to make this thing happen, how can you teach that knowledge and skill to somebody else? That's also not possible. Right? So these things has to start with you. You should be able to influence your own mindset. You should be good in that basic skills of activating someone. You should have the knowledge of what it takes to activate someone, and you should know what activities are important for activating someone. So do you understand this?
Yes.
All right. So I want you to, if you want, you can ask me questions on what we discussed today until now. After that, we will go ahead and discuss about the activities, the third circle. So we have discussed about mindset, we have discussed about knowledge and skill, we discussed about the 4 levels of duplication. Any questions? Yes.
In this 4-level
Wait for
duplication,
Mike.
in this 4-level duplication chart,
The mic doesn't work? Okay, now okay.
In this 4-level duplication chart,
Ah.
now we wrote 15 in this side and 15 in the other side. Is that 15 has to go in the same, like filling the blank system, or can like every person should have 2 persons, or can we go in the like some person doesn't have and but the other can be filled up in the rounds?
Not everybody need to have exactly 2, not needed.
Mm-hmm.
But every level should have this level should have at least 2 people. Okay, of course you start with 2.
Okay.
This level, so should have 2 people who are activated.
Oh yeah.
This level should have 4 people who are activated.
Okay.
This level should have 8 people who are activated. So what that means is, let us say, let us say you bring in one person. Okay, this guy is not doing anything, not even bringing 1%. So you bring in your third person. Okay, so this level has now 3 people, but if this guy is activating, then you have at least 2 people who are activated.
Okay.
All right. So similarly, in this level, you should have at least 4 people who are activated. See, you can have, if you don't follow this method of people, number of people who are activated, then what happens is you can have 15 people this way also, right?
Okay.
Or maybe this guy has 1 here, this guy has 1 here, whatever. Then the problem is here, nobody would have earned a check, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is not for you to have 15 and 15 somehow, but after the 15 and 15, you should be able to find 2 here and 2 here to work with, so that they can have their own 30 and 30, right? So if nobody in that 15 has even made 1 check, then it will be difficult for you to influence them to make their own 30-30. Okay?
Okay.
So practically not everybody will do it,
Yes.
but just focus on these numbers, that you should have at least 2 who are activated on the first level. 4 activated. There can be many more. This guy hasn't done anything, this guy has brought only 1, doesn't matter, but in this whole thing, at least 4 people who are activated. Alright, so when you actually do this, you will have more than 15 and 15.
Yes.
15 and 15 is a minimum. Okay, so you might have 20 and 30. Out of 20 and 30, you can definitely influence 2 people here and 2 people here
For the next level.
for the next level, the next 4 levels of duplication. Okay, but yes, you need to have it so that more people are earning checks. All right? Yes. Any questions? Question? Okay.
In that fourth level duplication, in only one working upline, so in seconds, when is the team members is 4, how do you manage the 20 presentation in next week?
Yes. So then you might have to do something like group presentations, all right? Or you might have to involve, if your uplines are available, you got to involve them. So a combination of those things you'll have to do. Or you'll have to do a combination of group presentation and involving upline.
And all presentations and other works are there. So it's however need to do the within 3 months. So only no duplication in fourth level. So it's little difficult to do.
If you are the
one
only
month.
person, yes,
Only person.
it is difficult. All right, it is difficult. So if you don't have uplines who can help, then you will have to go for group presentations. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
වේගෙන් ඩුප්ලිකේෂන් එක වේගෙන ගියොත් එහෙම මාස එකමාරක් දෙකක් වගේ ඇතුළත ටීම් එක 30ක් වගේ හැදුනොත් අපිට කන්ටැක්ට් ලිස්ට් එක හදන්න යද්දී මම විතරක් නම් නිර්මාණය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ලොකු කාලයක් ගත වෙනවා. ඒකට මොකක්ද තියෙන සොලියුෂන් එක?
මල්ලි ආපහු පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න තරන්න.
වේගෙන් ටීම් එක ඩුප්ලිකේට් වේගෙන ගියොත් එහෙම මාස එකමාරක් දෙකක් වගේ ඇතුළත ටීම් එක ඒ වගේ කාලයක් ඇතුළත 30ක් වගේ හැදුනොත් එහෙම කන්ටැක්ට් ලිස්ට් හදන්න යද්දී මම විතරක් නම් ඉන්නේ ලොකු කාලයක් ගත වෙනවා. ඒකට මොකක් හරි සොලියුෂන් එකක් තියෙනවද? ටීම් එකේ මොකද ටීම් එකේ කට්ටියට වැඩේ කරන්න දීලා ඉන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් හරියම කෙනා තේරෙයිද කියලා ෂුවර් එකක් නැහැ මට.
So when initially is getting some little bit better fast growth, So creating contact list sometimes become a problem because some of my downlines not able to identify proper people. There is no guarantee. That means he can do that, but the people selecting others contact list, that will not happen that properly. If he get, it's like if he get 30 people fast like this, so he's little bit concerned about contact list and selecting right people. It will not able to do that. Other people will not able to do that. If you get 30, Mali,
Yeah, I understand, but how do you know?
මල්ලි ආයේ කොහොමද දන්නේ කියලා අහනවා. දැන් ඔය උපකල්පනය කරලා හිතන්නේ මෙහෙම හැදුනොත් contact list එක කරගන්න මේ කට්ටිය නැති වෙයි කියලා. අනියමාර්ථ අසම්භාව්‍ය ක්‍රියාවක් එහෙම ඔයා දැනගන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා අහන්නේ. එහෙම ඔයා හිතුවේ කොහොමද කියලා අහන්නේ. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඔළුවට ආවේ. දැන් තාම කරගත්ත දෙයක් නෙමෙයිනේ. උනොත් වෙයි කියලා හිතන දෙයක් නෙමෙයිද ඉස්සරහට. එතකොට කොහොමද ඔයා දැනගත්තේ කියලා අහන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ එහෙම වෙයි කියලා.
හිතුණා නිකන්.
He just thought.
Okay.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's fine. So, how do you prevent that from happening?
ඒක එහෙම සිද්ධ වෙන එක වළක්වන්න නම් ඔයා මොකද කරන්න කියලා අහනවා මල්ලි.
contact list හදන කට්ටිය duplicate කරනවා හරියට.
He has to duplicate people who is able to select contact list properly.
Exactly. That's all.
එච්චර තමයි.
Maybe Arun, regarding four level of duplication, so you have told this us to the system around 2 years back, maybe more. That we already know that our leaders level, we know that Ghana already done this as examples, but still we don't have that belief in our levels. I'd like to know from your words how Ghana's done. It's happening in Ghana already.
Yeah.
Yes, you have mentioned in our lunch table there, in Sri Lanka is still in the baby level of following.
Right.
That's all.
Well, how they have done it is the same way. They just decided to do it, that's all. And it started, all right? And now, I was just talking to Cherin, he's there in Ghana, and they're doing a recognition event right now. It's finished yesterday. And he sent me a video of a few people who actually did 30, that's 4 levels of duplication in 3 weeks. So it's not activation in 3 weeks, it's 4 levels of duplication in 3 weeks. All right. So it is possible. There are people doing it. You just have to decide to start doing it. All right. What will stop you is your limiting belief. There's nothing else. There's no special skill, or there is skills involved, but it's not rocket science skill. All right. So first you have to decide it is important. Second, you have to know that it is possible. People are doing it around the world. All right. And then follow the things what we discussed from morning onwards. Your mindset, your the required skills for it. All right. And we'll discuss the activities later. But how these some other people are doing it is because they said, they looked at this whole thing and said, yes, it makes sense. I want to max out, and unless there is a systematic approach to max out, it is not going to happen. All right. Max out is not small thing. It is big. And it is not going to happen automatically just like that. It is not going to happen. So there has to be a very systematic approach in my business to make that happen. And they looked at this 4 level of duplication thing and they said, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But when they started 2 years ago, it was same. I mean, it was difficult. First of all, for them to believe. All right. So repeatedly, we partner Cherian went there and he explained, and I think it took almost 6 months for the first main leader to start thinking, okay, yeah, we should try this. After that, then they started doing it. I think the first person to do 3 levels of duplication, I think it took 6 months or more than that. I don't remember. Okay? Was some lady who did it. I think 6 months or 8 months it took for 3 levels of duplication. Alright? And now people are doing it in 3 weeks. So it's very interesting to note how limiting beliefs influence our activities. So business is same, market is same, everything is same. 2 years ago, some people believed it's not at all possible, impossible. Then somebody started doing it. One person decided, okay, let me give it a try. So they started doing it. It took 8 months. Okay? So now somebody did it. So now a few other people are saying, oh, that person is able to do it. So somebody did it, which means it is possible. So then other people started also slowly doing it. Alright? So now when other people started doing it, slowly, some people started having that competitive spirit. Oh, I want to do it faster. Let me see if I can do it faster, better than that, faster than that. So then, a few people were able to do it in 6 months. After that, a few people were able to do it in 4 months, 3 months, and now 3 weeks. Alright? So, once we are able to break our limiting belief of, oh, that's not possible. Right? Once you break that it is not possible to, that looks possible. That may be possible, let me try. Because when you have limiting belief, it is not, that's not possible. Oh, it's very difficult. Oh, that's impossible. I cannot do it. From there you make a shift to, oh, somebody did it. So maybe it is possible. If it's possible for them, then I want to know how it is done. That is a beginning stage of your breaking the limiting belief. Right? Have you heard about this guy called as Roger Bannister? He's the first guy in the world to run 1 mile, under 4 minutes. So before he did that, in the whole history, nobody in the world could run 1 mile in 4 minutes. The best time was 4 minutes, some second or something like that. Alright? So for a long time people couldn't break that. So what happened was, scientists started developing theories of why people cannot run faster than that. There were scientific papers. They said human body is like this and this happens and that happens, and if somebody actually runs 1 mile under 4 seconds, then their heart will explode and they will die. Okay? It was scientifically written down, all theories and assumptions and all that stuff for a long time. So this guy Roger Bannister, I'm not sure, but I think he was a psychologist, something like that, right? So he decided, he learned this, this limiting belief thing, and said, okay, let's see if that is possible. So he trained, and then he did it. Okay? He did 1 mile in 3 minutes, 58 seconds or something like that. Under 4 minutes. And he didn't die. He did not die. Okay? So now, it was a major news. Oh my God, this happened. First time in the world, somebody did that. So after that, guess how long it took for another person to do it? Just a few months. Somebody else did it, then somebody else did it, then somebody else did it. And something that was never done ever in the world, hundreds of people did it. Now everybody does it. Now the world record for 1 mile, I don't know, it's less than, I don't know how much it is, 3 minutes or something. Alright? So what did he do? He only did one thing. He broke the limiting belief of the whole mankind for that one particular achievement. Alright? And once he did it, and others knew that, oh, this is possible, then they started training for that. But before that, in their mind, they decided it's not possible. So they never trained for achieving that. Alright? So limiting beliefs really stop us from achieving what we can achieve. There's no limit to what we can achieve. Absolutely no limit. We can achieve whatever we decide. The only thing stopping us is the limiting belief. When people have gone to moon and back and they've gone to space, people are doing remarkable things. Right? So this is nothing. You're not you're not building a rocket. You're not doing anything major. This is just simple business, small business, right? But the difference is this business model is very powerful. And because of the model of this business, we can make big money. That is the only reason why you and I are able to do this and make big money. It's nothing else. We are not super intelligent. Okay, there's no super intelligent in anybody who is maxing out in this business. If there is any difference between the people who are maxing out and the ones who are not maxing out, the only difference is their beliefs. There is no other difference. All right? Okay, questions?
Four level of duplication. Four level of duplication එකේ අපිට දැන් practically or layers හතරම කරන්න කියන්නේ fill කරගන්න බෑ කියලා මේ experience එකම තේරෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි කොහොමද identify කරගන්නේ අපි මේ layer four level duplication එක කරා කියලා example අපි දෙක පැත්තෙන් activity activate වෙච්ච count එකක් මෙහෙම තියෙන්න ඕනේද කොහොමද? නෑ අමාරු කියන එක නෙමෙයි අයියා. ඒ කියන්නේ layers දෙක completely fill වෙන්නේ නැහැ. fill වෙන්නේ නැහැ. කරගෙන නැහැ. එතකොට කොහොමද අපි identify කරගන්නේ අපි මේ duplication එක උනා four level කරා කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ count එක විතරද අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ එක පැත්තෙන් 15යි 15යි 30යි කියන. layers හතරකින්
තත්ත්ව අතර තියෙන්න ඕනේ.
ඔව්.
ඇක්ටිවේට් පළවෙනි තත්ත්වය ඇක්ටිවේට් වෙච්ච දෙන්නයි, ඊළඟ තත්ත්වය ඇක්ටිවේට් වෙච්ච හතර දෙනයි, ඊළඟ තත්ත්වය ඇක්ටිවේට් වෙච්ච අට දෙනයි. ඒ විදිහට තියෙනවා. අර කලින් ඉස්සරහට the same question he asked about you gave the answer to Sampath. How to ensure that the four level of duplication is happened? That means how many people, whether 15 or 15 or
What did you say?
I said the activated people, we are tracking number of activated people like you said to Sampath.
Okay, next person. You can ask questions about anything that we discussed today, not just this one. From morning till now, whatever we discussed, you can ask.
I want to know when we are doing fourth level duplication as a group presentation, is it effective or not?
Group presentation වලට four level of duplication පාවිච්චි කළොත් ඒක හොඳද නරකද කියලා අහනවා. ඵලදායීද නැද්ද කියලා.
Okay, so your question should be, is group presentation effective or not? Whether it's for 4 levels or whatever level doesn't matter, is group presentation effective? So, it is effective. I mean, anybody here does group presentation? All of you do group presentation, isn't it? Does group presentation happen here? Yeah, in the office and all that, it is group presentations, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, group presentation definitely effective, but you should know how to do an effective group presentation. It is like asking, is invitation effective? Yes, if you know how to invite effectively. So the power of group presentation is, or what actually makes group presentation effective is, at the end of the presentation, when the speaker is finished, you don't send the prospects back home. You actually make them sit there and do the individual closings. If that is not done, then the group presentation is waste of time.
Yes, if somebody one prospect is negative,
Yeah.
so others also
Yes.
can
Very
have
true.
negativity.
So what do you do? What can we do? What is the solution?
Should be a control.
Yes. So
And,
we don't
we have-
allow people to ask questions during presentation.
Mhm.
That is the solution. So when somebody asks a question, let us say you're sitting doing a presentation, somebody stand up and say, oh, excuse me, I have a question. I say, fantastic, sir or madam. After maybe some of your question might be answered by the time I finish the presentation, but in case it is not finished, I will come to you and make sure that your question is answered. Alright? So we need an effective method that prevents people from talking negative during presentation. Alright?
Thank you.
Clarify one thing, and she not mean that group presentation mean not 150 people. It means that only 5 people.
Oh, okay.
Only 5 people. We are giving the presentation to them.
Okay.
So the working upline is doing the presentation. Then it's difficult to get the attention to them or not. It affect you or not in that presentation.
Okay. So if there is only 2 people or 3 or 4
5
people,
people.
5 people,
Yeah.
something like that kind of group presentation. And if you want to stop people from talking negative in that, because sometimes it's easier for them to say negative because there's only 5 people.
Yeah.
So we have to very clearly establish ground rules before the presentation. Okay? So even if it's only 3 people, say that during this discussion, if at all any doubt come into your mind, please keep it till I finish. And after we finish, we will discuss. Okay? Now, after this presentation is done, if you are going to do the closing discussion with all the 5 together, then no point.
Yeah, that's my question.
So, ideally, the closing discussions should be individual. Because 5 people together, even if one is negative, during the closing discussion, it can spoil the other people.
Then skill only having one person, then it's a problem. The only working upline can do the closing.
Correct.
So it will be trouble on that time. It's not effective on that time.
Yes, so you might need the help of few other people who can keep them engaged for a little while.
Mhm.
They don't have to do the closing or whatever. So while you're doing with one person,
Beginning push.
they just keep them engaged, talk and all that little bit. So you finish this, then you can go to the next person, you go to the next person and all that.
That's the only question. Now clear.
All right.
Thank you.
Actually, for the last 2 months onwards, I didn't focus any group presentations. Have focused with only one-on-ones because the duplicating of activities, the presentations, closings, I feel the better ways to do one-on-one. When the group presentation model it become, the team is always try to get it from myself. So they are not ready to learn about to presentations or closing.
Yes.
So with that I maintain that system. So I want to clear it. Is it okay to continue or the group because I have some experience of sometimes when the group presentations when I'm doing without control it's going. So if is it okay to continue or arrange a group presentation, or is any if it is okay The maximum people, how many it should be for a group presentation?
Okay. So, when you do group presentation, the challenges that you have identified is less duplication. People are depending on you for presentations, right? What else?
Closings also.
The closings. Okay.
Based mainly most 5 co-activities through from myself.
Why? Because group presentation, you're only doing presentation. Invitations still they have to do. Closing they still have to do. The presenter is only doing presentation. Are you doing also invitation for them? To bring
No,
people? No.
no.
So they are doing that activity. Closing, are you doing for them also?
Sometimes.
But how can you do? In a group presentation, remember 20 people, how can you close all 20 one by one? It's not possible. So you can do closing for maybe 1 or 2 people, but the remaining people they have to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they have to do that also. So the only thing they're actually depending on you is the presentation itself.
Yes.
All right. So what were the challenges you said for group presentation?
Duplicating of
The
basic-
presentation,
Yeah.
duplication of the presentation is not happening.
Yes.
Okay. What else?
Depending from my side.
Yeah, depending
Also,
on
if
you.
I'm not there, the
The
presentation
presentation
is not going in the market.
Okay. Okay. So how would you prevent that? What is the solution?
Both way I have to continue.
One-on-one and group presentation.
Group presentation.
Okay. What else? What other solutions? So your main concern is that they are not learning presentation.
Mhm.
Is that your main concern?
Yeah, and also without me, it's not
The
happening.
group presentation is not happening.
Happening.
Okay. So how would you overcome that?
I have to.
So one option is, even when you are doing the group presentation, you can involve other people, right? So one presentation from start to finish need not be done by one person, right? So you can involve your leaders in your presentation. Either they can do product testimony or other testimony or whatever, they can talk about the product, they can do parts of the presentation. So now you're involving them, right? So slowly you can involve different people. So once they are also involved, then slowly they can do the complete presentation also while you're still there. Do you understand? While you're still there in the hall, they can do the presentation also. If you start involving them, they will not do it from the first day. First day, it might be a little bit, maybe testimony, maybe just product, maybe the beginning part, maybe only welcome part. Okay? That's how you start introducing them. Then they do a little bit longer, then they do a little bit longer. Then after some time, they can do the whole presentation and you're still in the hall. So when they can do that, then even if you're not there, they can do. Right? Now, imagine you are also doing one group presentation, they are also doing one group presentation in some other place. How powerful is that?
High number of presentations.
Right. So for anything that we feel cannot be done, you look at how can it be done if it is important. If the result is important, if you say, okay, effective group presentation is good, but these are the problems. Then you look at, okay, how can we overcome those problems? Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Then,
සර් මට දැනගන්න ඕනේ ෆෝ ලෙවල් ඇක්ටිවේෂන් එක මම කරගෙන යනකොට ඒ කියන්නේ උඩම ඉන්න BA ඒ කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අප්ලයින ඒ කියන්නේ මමනේ ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ලෙවල් වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යන්නේ. එතකොට අරයා වැඩවලට එන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයා ෆෝ ලෙවල්
When I was start doing four level of duplication, but the upline above me is not supporting me. When he's doing four level of duplication, the initial leaders he start with, they are not after a while, they are not supporting. From them the proper effort and it's not coming. The initial leaders he start with doing four level of duplication. From them real effort is not coming. Like the first level leaders.
How are they leaders? They are just new people.
Yeah, sorry, not leaders. Okay.
So you do this. What support do you want from them?
මල්ලි මොන වගේ සපෝට් එකක්ද ඔයා ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ? දැන් පළවෙනි තත්ත්වය දෙන්නෙක් විතර පටන් ගත්තා කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් ඔයා කවර ආකාර සපෝට් එකක්ද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ෆෝ ලෙවල් ඔෆ් ඩුප්ලිකේෂන් කරගන්න?
අයියේ මෝල්ඩිගේ යා ලොකු අයිඩියා එකක් නෑ. යා තලුත් එක්ක ඉන්නේ. මම කියන්නේ ලෙවල් 15ක් يعني 15 ටීම් එක ඇති ඒ හරියව කියද්දි ඔව් ඒ වගේ
the initial first two levels, top level, the first level two guys try to skip their responsibilities.
So these people are not there to work with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is doing his own.
Right. Okay. Why is that?
අයියේ මට මේ වුණා මගේ ටීම් එකේ.
එහෙම වෙන්නේ ඇයි කියලා අහන්න.
ඒ කියන්නේ
ඔයාගේ අදහස මොකක්ද?
අයියේ මගේ ටීම් එකේ ඉන්කම් සයිඩ් එකෙන් මල්ලි කෙනෙක් සයින් අප් වුණා. මම එයාගේ ටීම් එක හැදුවා දෙපැත්තම. දැන් අදටත් මම තමයි දෙපැත්තම බලන්නේ. එයා වැඩ වලට ලොකුවට ફોකස් ඉන්නේ නැහැ.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට හිතන්නේ ඔයාම දෙපැත්ත බැලීමෙන්ද තමයි ඊට පස්සේ උද්ද දුන්නේ.
ඔව්.
I started helping one guy to build his both sides, and today he is skipping from all the work, and I am building both the sides.
No, I understand. I'm talking about this particular example here. I'm saying why would these people not support the activities of these people? What is the reason?
I මේ දෙන්න කට්ටිය කල්ලෙහා කට්ටියගේ ඇක්ටිවිටීස් වලට සපෝට් නොකරන්න හේතුව. ඔයා හිතන විදිහට මොකක්ද හේතුව කියලා?
ටීම් එක දැන් මම කතා කරන්නේ එක්කෙනා ගැන.
ඔව් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇයි මේක හිතලා ඇයි පල්ලෙහා කට්ටියට සපෝට් කරන්නේ නැත්තේ? ඔයා හිතන විදිහට.
එයා හිතන්නේ මම බලයි කියලා.
He is expecting that I will look after them.
Yeah, why?
ඇයි එහෙම හිතන්නේ? ඇයි ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම හිතන්නේ?
මම දැනගන්න විදිය. ඒ කියන්නේ මම ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ලෙවල් එකට දාලා වැඩ ටික කරනවා නේ. දාලා කල්ට් එක කට්ටිය ඇක්ටිවේට් කරන වැඩ ටික මම මුක් ටික හදලා යාම දෙන්න කරනවා අයියා.
No, why are they thinking like that? Why are they thinking like that?
ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම හිතන්නේ ඇයි?
තාම ඉතින් මන් දන්නේ නැහැ විපාක මන්ද
කියන්නේ මෙයා මට හිතෙන්නේ එයා නිකන් මට කියලා වැටි කර ගන්න හදනවා වගේ. ඒ මට හිතෙනවා ලීඩර් කෙනෙක් හැදෙන්න දෙවි කියලාද. මට හිතෙනවා එතන එයා ලීඩර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට හැදෙන්න දෙවි කියලා.
Okay, Buddhi, my question is why are they thinking like that?
දැන් ඊපට අරුත් අහන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම කරන්නේ හරි. ඒ පුද්ගලයා එහෙම කරන්න හේතුව මොකක්ද කියලා ඔයාට හිතෙනවා.
මට හිතෙන්නේ එයා මට කියලා වැටි කය ගන්නවා ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ලෙවල් එකේ. අපිට කියන්නේ.
ඒකට හේතුව මොකක්ද කියලා ඔයාට හිතෙන්නේ.
එයා හිතන්නේ easy way එකක් කියලා එක.
He thinks it is an easy way to earn money.
For them. For them, it is an easy way. I understand. I'm just saying, why? Why would they think that way?
Why not? මං කොහොමද දන්නේ?
එයා හිතන්නේ බිස්නස් එක ඒ විදිහට පැත්තෙන් දකින්න නැත්තේ. ඒ බිස්නස් එක ඒ විදිහට තමයි එයා දකින්න නැත්තේ. මේ මම දකින්න විදිහට
Who? That person sees the business that way. Exactly. Right? Which means that person's mindset is like that. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So, what is the solution?
Change the mindset.
මම සමහර වෙලාවලට එයාව ඉන්වෝල්ව් කරගෙන සමහර වැඩ කරන්න try කරනවා. ඒක තමයි මම දකින solution එක.
I try to get him also involved with me when doing some activities. That is the solution what I see.
No. The problem is the other person's mindset where they are not seeing this as their business.
අනිත් එක්කෙනාගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ එයාගේ බිස්නස් එක ඇතුළේ මේක දකින්නේ නැහැ. ඒකනේ.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the solution?
ඒකට විසඳුම මොකක්ද එයා දකින්නේ?
එයාට පෙන්වලා දෙන්න ඕනේ මේක එයාගේ බිස්නස් එක කියලා.
We have to show him that this is his business.
Yes. How would you do that?
කොහොමද ඒක කරන්නේ? That is what I don't understand.
So we discussed about how we change somebody's mindset.
අපි කතා කරා අපි කොහොමද කෙනෙක්ගේ mindset එක වෙනස් කරන්න කියලා.
You remember?
Yes, sir.
How?
කොහොමද?
Spending time.
ලොකු ට්‍රේඩින් කරන කියලා
Conversation.
නෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් කරනකොට
ලහාගාලා.
එයාගේ
ඔව්.
training වල
උත්තර දෙනවා මට නෑ කඩද කියලා අහන්න ඕනේ.
කියන්නේ ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් කරන තැන කියව කියන එක. personal කතා කරන එක.
personally discussing with him.
Okay. So the first thing I told was, the preventing of that thing happening. Objection blocking. You remember that? Explain. Do the translation.
පළවෙනි එක තමයි මුල් එක විදියක් තමයි එයාට ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඇති වෙන්න කලින් ඒ ඇති වෙන එක වළක්වන්නේ.
Yes. Okay. So if people in your team are not taking responsibility of their business, that means that something that is happening, something you are doing, or some message they are getting, it's not right.
ඔයාගේ ව්‍යාපාර බිස්නස් එකේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය ඒ ආගේ බිස්නස් එක ගැන වගකීමක් ගන්නේ නැත්නම් ඔයා කරන දෙයකින් කොහොම හරි ඒගොල්ලන්ට ලැබෙන මැසේජ් එක හරි මැසේජ් එකක් නෙවෙයි.
Okay? So, from the time when somebody signs up, you have to work in creating the mindset in them that it is their business.
කෙනෙක් sign up වෙච්ච වෙලේ ඉඳලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ එයාගේ mindset එකේ mindset එක අඳුර කරන්න ඕනේ මේක එයාගේ business එකක් කියන එක. Okay.
Prevention or blocking the objection or blocking the problem is more effective than handling it after it happens.
ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්න කලින් ඒක වළක්ව ගන්න එක ප්‍රශ්නේ වුණාට පස්සේ විසඳන රැඩිය ගොඩාක් වටිනවා.
Okay. So if you see that this problem is happening again and again and again, then you have to do something so that with the other next group of people this is not happening.
මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ දිගින් දිගටම වෙනවා නම් විකල්ප වෙනවා නම් වග බලා ගන්නකොට ඉස්සරහට මේක මේ විදිහට නොවෙන්න.
අලුත් ටීම් එකනේ.
අලුත් ටීම් එක.
Okay. So remember I told you that for many people their duplication is stuck in the first 2 or 3 levels. You remember that?
ගොඩක් අයගේ duplication එක පළවෙනි දෙවෙනි තුන්වෙනි level වල නැවතිලා තියෙනවා කියලා වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Right? So they have maybe 2, 4, 8, 16, but at any point in time they might have only a very few active people.
ඕනෑම වෙලාවක ගත්තොත් ගොඩක් අයට ඇත්තේ බොහොම ඇක්ටිව් මිනිස්සු කීප දෙනෙක් විතරයි ඇත්තේ.
Okay? The reason for that,
ඒකට හේතුව
one of the main reason for that is this exact problem.
මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි ඒකට තියෙන ප්‍රධානම හේතුව ගොඩක් වෙලාවට.
They are not able to give the mindset to these people that this is your business.
ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේ ඊළඟට පල්ලෙන් ජොයින් වෙන කට්ටියට මේක තමන්ගේ බිස්නස් එකක් කියන මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක දී ගන්න බැරුව යනවා.
Okay? So, creating a mindset or influencing people,
මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එකක් ගොඩනැගීම හෝ මිනිස්සුන්ව ඉන්ෆ්ලුවන්ස් කිරීම,
we need to develop that skill.
ඒ ස්කිල් එක අපි වැඩි දියුණු කරගන්න ඕන එකක්.
Okay? So, sometimes upline say, but I told him many times it is his business.
සමහරවිට අප්ලයින් කියනවා මම යාට කීපසරයක් කිව්වා මේක වාගේ බිස්නස් එක කියලා.
It is not about telling.
මේක කියන එක සම්බන්ධ දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. කිව්වා
It
කියලා
is
හරියන්නේ
about
නැහැ.
influencing.
ඉන්ෆ්ලුවන්ස් කිරීම තමයි කරන්නේ. කිව්වයි කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ.
Alright, so we need to improve our skill in influencing the mindset of people.
අපි මිනිස්සුන්ගේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක ඉන්ෆ්ලුවන්ස් කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව වැඩි කරගන්න ඕනේ. වැඩි දියුණු කරගන්න ඕනේ.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else? Any other questions?
I know that that's a very important thing when you're doing something. That's called a mindset. It's not only for the business, any other thing. So my question is, how can I improve the mindset? So we have certain limit of mindset. So I need to know that what kind of things we can do for the increase the mindset.
Okay. So, to improve your mindset, improving mindset is always related to the goal you want to achieve. Always. Right? You can't just, okay, improve my mindset, but what does it mean? So, you have a goal. What is your goal? So, give me an example of your goal.
Good speaker like you.
Speaker. Okay. So let us say that's your goal. Okay. That I want to be a good speaker. So when you think about that goal, what thoughts or what beliefs come into your mind as to, do you believe you can do it? You believe you cannot do it? If you believe that, you know, what are the beliefs that come into your mind? So you first understand that.
Yeah, I can actually. I believe I can do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So why are you not able to do it today?
I can't practice more.
Okay. So then you feel that I have to practice more. Okay. And what else? What else? What other thoughts come into your mind when you think about that?
I think one thing is
Is there any limiting beliefs that come into your mind when you think about being a good speaker?
I don't have enough time like that.
Okay. So that helps you understand whether the belief is limiting or it is not limiting, right? Empowering or whatever. So then you improve that, you change that. Like we discussed about how you work on your limiting beliefs, right? You question it, you start questioning. It might be based on assumptions. So then you improve your mindset for that particular goal. So any improvement in your mindset is always aligned to a particular objective. All right? Okay. All right. Anybody else? Finish? Who has not spoken so far? You have not spoken. Okay.
කඩේම ඉන්නවා ටයිටන් ස්ටෝරි චැලන්ජ් එක අචීව් කරපු කෙනෙක්. එයා අද වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. මිස් චතු සීසනෝ අන්ජොජ්
I have one person in my team who achieved Titan 4A challenge, but he is not active now.
sign up දෙකක් විතර එයා sign up කරලා තියෙනවා. නමුත් එයා අද වැඩ කරන්න නිසා ඒ පැත්තේ කට්ටිය වැඩ කරන්නේත් නැහැ.
He did around 30 sign-ups, but because he is not working, the people in that side, they are also not working.
Okay.
කොහොමද මම ඒක කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ work කරගන්න තත්ත්වයට ගන්නේ. හැමෝම අහන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි කෝ චතු. Where is Chatu? Those people are asking.
How can I make them activate? Because many people asking where is Chatu, you know, that person who achieved that.
Okay. So why did that person? Why is that person not active?
ඒ චතු නැත්තම් ඒ achieve කරපු ඔරිය challenge එක achieve කරපු කෙනා active නැත්තේ ඇයි කියලා අහනවා.
She is pregnant.
එයා ගර්භණී තත්ත්වයක්.
So it is a temporary situation.
ඒක తాවකාලික තත්ත්වයක් නේද?
Yes.
So just because the person is pregnant right now, the person cannot work in the business. Correct? Is that the reason, or the person said, I don't like this business, stupid business, I don't want to do it?
එයා ගර්භණී වෙලා ඉඳලා මේ කරන්න නැතුව ඉන්නවද නැත්නම් බිස්නස් එක හරියන්නේ නැහැ වැඩක් නැහැ මේක පිස්සුවක් කියලා නවත්තලා තියෙනවද?
නෑ නෑ එහෙම නවත්තලා නෑ. එයා ගර්භණී වෙලා තියෙන නිසා තමයි මේ නවත්තලා තියෙන්නේ. නමුත් එයා මාස 10කින් ආවොත් 10කින් ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්න වුණොත් අර කට්ටිය ඇක්ටිව් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්නම් ටීම් එක කැම්ප් රන් කරන්න රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එන්නකම් බලන් ඉඳිද්දිම අර කට්ටිය එහෙම එකවටම කොහොමද ගන්න කියන එක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ
just because she is pregnant, she is not working, but his question is after 10 months, you know, when she come until that, you know, how the other people keep active, you know, how to support them, you know.
But why the person has to be inactive for 10 months?
ඇයි මාස 10ක් එයා ඇක්ටිව් නැති වෙයි කියලා හිතන්නේ කියලා අහනවා.
So once a person becomes pregnant, is this the first, I think, 1 month? I don't know, I've never been pregnant, so I don't know. I think it is the first month, 2 months where they, you know, cannot move much or whatever, I don't know. You know, but people work, you know, if people go to work, people do things when they are pregnant.
මම සාමාන්‍ය පළවෙනි මාස දෙකේ විතර ප්‍රෙග්නන්ට් වුණාට පස්සේ මේ දඟලන්නේ මුකුත් නැතුව ඉන්න සාමාන්‍ය ප්‍රෙග්නන්ට් වෙන්න කට්ටිය වැඩ කටයුතු කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතකොට මාස 10ක්ම පීරියඩ් එකට අයිති වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කිව්වේ.
So what is the reason? That's my question. I don't think it is a pregnancy. The person doesn't want to do, or is there some other reason?
මේ පාට අරුන් ජෝෂ් කියනවා ප්‍රෙග්නන්සි ඉඳ විතරක් නෙමෙයි කියලා මේ සමහර මොනවා හරි වෙන හේතුත් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා වගේ.
ඔව් එයා හැමෝම බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් ඉන්නවා එයා ඒ කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ එයා නැති එක excuses එකක් විදිහට අරන් තියෙනවා.
Everybody hoping for her, so they are using that as an excuse not to work.
Yeah, I understand that. What I'm saying is, if the situation is a temporary situation with the upline, okay,
මේක తాවකාලික තත්ත්වයක් නම් ඒ අප්ලයින් එකට සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙන
then you handle it in a different way.
එහෙනම් ඔයා ඒක හසුරව ගන්න ඕන විදිය වෙනස් නේ ටිකක් නේද? ඒක මේ මානසික ප්‍රශ්නයක් නේ.
But if it is a different situation where the upline has become negative and stopped the business,
හැබැයි අප්ලයින් මේ හේතුව හින්දා නෙමෙයි වෙන මොනවා හරි හේතුවක් හින්දා ඍණවාදී වෙලා ව්‍යාපාරේ නවත්තලා නම්
then you handle it in a different way.
එහෙනම් ඔයා ඒක හසුරව ගන්න විදිය වෙනස් නේද?
Which one is this?
අර මේ පාට අරුන් ජෝර්ජ් ආනේ හරියට මේ දෙකෙන් කෝකටද වැටෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද ඒ අනුව තමයි බේද තීරණය එන්නේ.
Is it temporary?
නෑ මට ඔව් ටෙම්පරරි. ඒ කියන්නේ මට දැනගන්න ඕනේ
නෑ මල්ලි අහන ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තර දෙන්න. අහන්නේ ඒ දෙකෙන් කෝකද කියලා. එයාට මේ මානසික ප්‍රශ්නයක් හින්දා ප්‍රෙග්නන්ට් හින්දා බැරි කමද නැත්නම් රින වෙලා මොකක් හරි හින්දා නැවතිලාද කියලා. ඒ දෙකෙන් කෝකද කියලා
තමයි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ බිස්නස් එකට එන්න විදියක් නැත්තේ.
It's because of pregnancy.
Okay. So that's fine. So what can we do?
ඒකට මොකද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අහනවා. දැන් එයා එහෙම තත්ත්වයක ඉන්නෝ කොහොමද මොකද්ද කරන්න කියලා එකද?
What are the solutions?
විසඳුම් මොනවද කියලා අහනවා.
එයාට කතා කරනකොට සතුටට කතා කරනවා. කතා කරන දේ කරනවා. මුලික අය එයාට එන්න විදිහක් නැති නිසා බිස්නස් එකේදී කතා බහ ගන්න විසර් එකකට මීටින් එකට එන්න විදිහක් නැති නිසා එයාගේ පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලා වගේ එන්න ගන්න විදිහක් නැතිකම තමයි මෙතන වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
The solution is talk with her, but because she is not coming, her partners can't bring. That is
Right.
his problem.
So the partner's asking where is she, or when she comes we will start working and all that stuff, right?
ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ටීම් එකේ කට්ටිය අහනවනේ එයා කවද්ද එන්නේ අර මේ විස්තර නේද ඒකද ප්‍රශ්නේ?
ඔව් ඒක තමයි. yes ඒක අහනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ සතු ආවද කියලා අහනවා මේ කවක කරේ විසල් එකක් හෝ මොකක් හරි මීටින් එකක් තිබ්බොත් සතු ආවද කියලා තමයි මුලින්ම අහන්නේ.
If I conduct any meeting, everybody asking just
Yes,
whether
where
Chatu
is
comes or not.
where is Chatu? So what is the solution?
මාලි මොකද්ද උත්තරේ කියලා අහනවා. මොකද්ද
They
කරන්න
want to
පුළුවන්?
know where they basically they want to know this is the person who brought us. Where is she? Why is she not here? So that is a genuine question. There's nothing wrong with it. So what can you do?
කට්ටිය මානක කිසි වරදක් නැහැ. අපි බිස්නස් එකට ගෙනාපු එකන එයා කෝ කියලා. දැන් ඒකට අපි මොකද්ද කළ හැක්කේ කියන තමයි ඔයගෙන් අහන්නේ.
ඔව් එයාගේ තත්ත්වය විතර මම පැහැදිලි කරලා දීලා තියෙනවා මේකයි තත්ත්වය එයාට මේ වෙලාවේදී සහභාගී වෙන්න බෑ. නමුත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ බිස්නස් එක පටන් ගන්න ඉවරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ බිස්නස් එකේ චතු දුරද මේ ගමනක් යන්න නෑ. චතු නෙමෙයි මේක මූලිකම අපි හැමෝම එකතු වෙලා මම ඉන්නවා බිස්නස් එක තුලදී. මම ඔයගොල්ලෝත් එක්ක වැඩ කරනවා. චතු ටික කාලයකට මේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳෙනකන් විතරයි මේ తాවකාලික විතරයි මේ එන්න විදියක් නැතුව තියෙන්නේ. අපි එකතු වෙලා වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යන්න කියන එක මම පැහැදිලි කරලා දීලා තියෙනවා. නමුත් ගොඩක් දුරට එන්නම් කියන්නේ නැති එක තමයි හේතු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලා එන්නේ නැහැ.
So I explained already to partners. This is temporary situation with Chatu. So I am here to support you. We can work as a team. Whether Chatu is absent or not, we start as a business. So we can do. So I am here to support. But still they are not majority not coming.
Right. So that's one approach.
ඒක එක විදියක් ඒකට ප්‍රවේශයක් මේකට කරන්න පුළුවන්.
Okay. What might be other approaches? What else can we do?
ඒක අර වෙන මොන වගේ දේවල්ද අපිට මේක සම්බන්ධව කරන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් කොහොමද කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන මොනවද ප්‍රවේශය?
ලොකු අයිඩියා එකක් නෑ.
I don't have much idea.
Okay. So what if this person, what's the person's name?
Chatu.
Chatu, okay. So what if Chatu calls for a meeting of all these people? Okay, one time. And yeah, go ahead.
චතු ඒ කට්ටිය ඔක්කොට මීටින් එකකට එකපාරකට හම්බෙන්න එනවා ආරාධනා කරනවා. මොකද කියලා සහ
and also invite whoever the working uplines are who is going to help those people during the time when she is
ඒ වගේම එයාට මේ අපහසුව තියෙන කාලය ඇතුලේ උදව් කරන්න පුළුවන් අනිත් අප්ලයිනර්ස්ලත් එක්ක.
And she edifies the uplines and she tells that basically for the next few months because of this situation I might not be very active in the business, but I don't want you to lose the opportunity. And during this time, my upline, who doesn't have time but has agreed to help me and you to work to support you in the business.
එතකොට මේ මීටින් එකේදී චතු කට්ටියට කියනවා මට මේ తాවකාලික මේ ප්‍රශ්නින්ද එන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මේ අප්ලයිනර්ස්ලා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගෙන්න ගන්න අමාරු කට්ටිය පවා ඒගොල්ලන් හරිය රෙඩිෆයි කරලා අඳුන්වලා දීලා මේව උදව්වට ඉන්නවා කියලා පැහැදිලි කරලා ටීම් එකට කතා කරොත් අප්ලයිනර්ස්ලාවත් එඩිෆයි කරලා මොකද තත්ත්වය කියලා. එක මීටින් එකකට හම්බෙලා.
Right? And then introduce you to them and then she basically says after the few months I'll come back but during that time you will.
ඔයාවත් එතනදී අඳුනලා දෙනවා. එතනදී චතු කියනවා මට මාස කිහිපයකට එන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා විස්තර ටික කියලා තිබ්බොත් එහෙම කළොත් මොකද කියලා අහන්නේ. හරියයිද කියලා.
Okay, so that is another approach.
තව විසඳුමක් ක්‍රමයක් කියලා.
එහෙම කියන්නේ එහෙම එන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා පැහැදිලි කරලා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් සතු අමාරුවෙන් හෝ ඇවිත් තියෙන අවස්ථාවල් තියෙනවා. සහභාගීලා තියෙනවා ගොඩක් අමාරු තැන් අමාරුවෙන් හරි. ওই කාරණා නිසා ඒකේ යාගේ පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලත් මම ඔක්කොම දන්නවා. නමුත් හැම එකකදීම පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන එකයි
Despite her situation also he come for some meetings but the problem is with people they are always hoping for support. හැබැයි මල්ලි අර විදිහේ විස්තරයක් කරලා edify කරලා දීලා තියෙනවද? But she didn't done that the meeting you asked the way, you know, you asked like edifying uplines and
Yeah, I know that's not happened, so that is why the problem is. So that is another approach. What I told you is another approach.
ඒක තව විදියක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. පැහැදිලිද මම?
Okay? And there can be, you ask a few other people, they might give you another approaches also. So first thing is that as working uplines, you need, all of you, when you face a challenge and you did one particular approach and it did not work out, that does not mean that that is the only way to solve that problem.
දැන් වෙන කෙනෙක්ගේ තව කෙනෙක්ගෙන් එවුණත් එයා තව අප්‍රෝච් එකක් නැත්නම් ප්‍රවේශයක් කියලා දෙයි. ඔයා මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නකදී මොන හරි ක්‍රමයක් උත්සාහ කළා ඒක හරි ගියේ නැහැ කියන එකෙන් අදහස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක තමයි තියෙන එකම ප්‍රවේශයේ ක්‍රමය කියලා තව ක්‍රම තියෙන්න පුළුවන්.
So as working uplines, you should know, okay, I tried this, not effective. What else can I do? What else can I do?
මම වර්කින් අප්ලයින් කෙනෙක් විදියට මේ ක්‍රමේ try කළා හරි ගියේ නැහැ. හරි හැබැයි තව වෙන මොනවද ක්‍රම තියෙන්නේ මට උත්සාහ කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතන්න ඕනේ කියලා කියන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම වර්කින් අප්ලයින් කෙනෙක් විදියට.
Okay? And as uplines, you don't need to have all the answers.
අප්ලයින් කෙනෙක් විදියට වාගාව මේ සියල්ල දත් කියලා මේ වාගාව හැම ප්‍රශ්නෙටම උත්තර දෙවිය යුතුයි කියලා නීතියක් නැහැ.
You can always find solutions from other people.
අනිත් අයගෙනුත් ඔයාලට උත්තර හොයාගැනීමේ හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා.
All right?
Thank you.
So, identify different approaches and let us say you do all these different approaches. Okay? And let us say this person signed up. How many people? 30 people, right?
Yes.
First 30 people. So you do this, the approach I said, you did your approach, you did another 4-5 approaches also.
අපි හිතමු දැන් 30 දෙනෙක් ඉන්න ටීම් එකේ ඊට පස්සේ ඔයා මේ මම කියපු අප්‍රෝච් එක උත්සාහ කරනවා ඔයාගේ අප්‍රෝච් එක උත්සාහ කරනවා තව කෙනෙක්ගේ අප්‍රෝච් එකක් උත්සාහ කරනවා අපි හිතමු මේ ඔක්කොම උත්සාහ කළා කියලා.
Do you need to get all these 30 people active for you to continue the business?
ඔයාට අවශ්‍යතාවයක් තියනවද මේ 30 දෙනාම සක්‍රියව ඉන්න එක ඔයාට බිස්නස් එක ඉදිරියට කරගෙන යාමට? ඒ මොනේද? ඔව්.
Do you need to get all the 30 people active for you to continue the business?
ඔයාට බිස්නස් එක මල්ලි ප්‍රශ්නේ තේරුම් ගන්න දිගටම කරගෙන යාමට මේ 30 දෙනාම ඇක්ටිව් වී තිබීම අනිවාර්ය අවශ්‍යතාවයක්ද? අවශ්‍යතාවය. He is telling yes.
No, do you need? I'm not saying do you want. I'm asking, do you need? Is that required for you to continue the business?
ඔයාට ආසා එක නෙමෙයි මම ලියන්නේ. ඔයාට අවශ්‍යද කියලා බිස්නස් එක දිගට කරගෙන යන්න මේ 30 දෙනාම ඇක්ටිව්ලි ඉන්න එක.
ඔව් අවශ්‍යයි මේ.
Still telling yes.
Why? What if only 2 people from that say, okay, I will work with you. Remaining 28 say, I don't care. I am also waiting for Chaddu to deliver the baby. Only then I will start the business.
දැන් එහෙම ඇයි කියලා අහන්නේ විපාන් අරුන් ජෝර්ජ් ඔයාගෙන් අපි හිතමු දෙන්නෙක් කැමති ඔයත් එක්ක දිගට වැඩ කරගෙන යන්න චතුගේ සිටුේෂන් එකේ මැද්දේ අනිත් 28ම කියනවා කියලා චතුට ළමයා හම්බුනාට පස්සේ විතරයි මම වැඩේට වහින්නේ කියලා.
But 2 people say, okay, no problem. She is pregnant. That's fine. I will work with you.
දෙන්නෙක් කියන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ අපිට තේරෙනවා එයා ප්‍රෙග්නන්ට් එක මේ අපි ඔයත් එක්ක වැඩ කරගෙන යනවා කියලා. ඒක මොකද්ද ප්‍රශ්නේ වාට කියලා අහන්නේ. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක්ද කියලා. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි. Huh? So he will continue working with the 2 people, so no problem.
Right. So that is what I asked you before. Why do you need? Why is that a condition that all the 30 has to start working with you?
ඒකම තමයි මම වෙන ක්‍රමයකට කලින් වගේ ප්‍රශ්න විදියට ඇහුවේ මේ 30 දෙනාම ක්‍රියාකාරීව ඔයත් එක්ක වැඩ කිරීම අවශ්‍යද කියලා.
See, when you put impractical conditions for you to move forward,
ඔයාට ඉදිරියට යාමට ප්‍රායෝගික නොවන කොන්දේසි ඔයා ගොඩනගා ගත්තම
then you're shooting yourself.
ඔයාට වෙඩි තියා ගන්නවා වගේ.
See, if I ask you, you present to 20 people, do you want all of them to sign up? Yes, you might want all of them to sign up.
උදාහරණයකට මම කිව්වොත් ඔයා ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් කරනකොට 20 දෙනෙකුට ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් කළොත් ඔයාට කැමැත්තක් තියෙනවා ආසාවක් තියෙනවා 20 දෙනාම sign up වෙනවා කියන එක.
But for you to continue the business, even if 2 people sign up, you can still continue the business.
හැබැයි ඔයාට බිස්නස් එක ඉදිරියට කරගෙන යාමට 20න් දෙකක් sign up වුණත් ඔයාට දිගට කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්.
But if you think that no, for me to do the business, I want all 20 to sign up.
හැබැයි ඔයා හිතන්න ගත්තොත් නෑ මට බිස්නස් එක ඉදිරියට කරගෙන යාම නම් මේ මම ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් කරපු හැම එක්කෙනෙක්ම sign up විය යුතුයි කියලා 20ම sign up විය යුතුයි කියලා.
Then what will happen to your business?
ඒ වුණොත් ඔයාගේ බිස්නස් එකට මොනවා වෙයිද?
You will not do it.
ඔයා කරන්නේ
Because you are putting all kinds of conditions which are not practical
මොකද
for you to carry on the business.
ඔයාට බිස්නස් එක දිගටම කරගෙන යාමට ප්‍රායෝගික නොවන කොන්දේසි ටිකක් ඔයා විසින්ම ගොඩනගාගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒක ඔයාට අවහිරයක් තමයි වෙන්නේ.
Okay?
පැහැදිලිද? Yes, we understand.
All right. Anybody else?
කතා කරමු නැති අය
The
කතා
one in the
කරන්න
front,
කියලා
the one in
කිව්වා.
the front.
If Arun, I am doing my business part time while doing a job. I am basically able to do FICO activities in the team, but I am unable to manage relationship between team members while doing this business because I am busy. How can I manage to build relationship between team members and me?
Okay. So how do you build relationship?
Right now I am building relationship between team and me by calling when I am free while working.
On the phone?
On the phone.
Okay. What else?
And at the weekend I go and meet them.
Okay. And that is not helping?
Yeah, I think it helps some to a certain extent.
Okay.
But I think it is not enough.
Okay. So you want to build more stronger relationship with them?
Yes.
Okay. That's very good. So how can you build stronger relationships with people in limited time? What can be done? The battery running up so fast. Give this to me.
Helping them to achieve more income.
Yeah, but you said build relationship.
Yeah.
So how can you build relationship with people? Stronger relationship in short period of time. If the time is short, your problem is time is short.
I think I may be able to arrange VSL business meeting around my working area.
Right.
In my free time.
So that is one. What else?
Up to now, I have tried that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? What else? What else can you do? I know that is what you tried, but what else can you do? So let us say weekends are free. You said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free.
So how can you use 2-3 hours in a weekend to build relationship with everyone in a more stronger way? What are the things you could do? See, building relationship is not only over business activities. You know that, right?
Yes.
Relationship is built by spending time with people. So you can do business, you can do other things. There are many different things you can do to build relationship with people. If you only do business activities with people, then it's difficult for you to build a strong relationship because they look at you only as a business person who's using them only for business, right?
Yes.
So, what are the things you could do with people? Maybe during a weekend, 2-3 hours with everybody together. What can you do?
Visit somewhere
Okay.
with the team.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Right. Yeah. Have some fun. Go somewhere. Do a potluck party. Everybody bring some food to your house. You know, there are many things you could do to build relationship. Right.
Okay.
Actually, if you spend too much time together, it's not good for relationship.
Sure.
Ask married people. Before marriage, the relationship was better because they see only, few hours a day, maybe every week, only few hours. Relationship was better.
Yeah.
After they get married, they spend 24 hours together, relationship very bad. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, anybody else? Last person. Yeah.
ලිස්ට් එක හදද්දී ලිස්ට් එක හදලා ඉවරලා කෙනෙක්ට තෝරලා හරියටම ඒ දේ කරලා ඉවරලා ඒ කෙනාට ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් දුන්නාට පස්සේ එයාගේ රිලේෂන්ස් කෙනෙක් නම් නැත්නම් එයාගේ ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ් කෙනෙක් නම් එයා දන්න ඒ කියන්නේ එයා නෙගටිව් වුණොත් එයා ගිහිල්ලා එයා නෙගටිව් මයින්ඩ් එකෙන් ගිහිල්ලා අනිත් කන්ටැක්ට්ස් එයා කලෙක්ට් කරන්න ගොඩාක් කරලා ඉඩ තියෙනවා එහෙම වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී කොහොමද ඒක වළක්වගන්නේ?
Even after filtering contact list properly, when we start presenting some people like relations, spoiling the other people also. So how to prevent that happening?
Okay.
Is properly filtering contact list.
Yeah.
But some people like relations. Sometimes they spoil other people.
They spoil other prospects in the family.
Pauli and any prospectors for Nathi and Nirmal.
Yeah. So, what is the problem?
Mukata whether the prospect
is the BA becoming negative or it's basically the prospects becoming negative?
BA negative when ekada BA ke prospectus ra negative when ekada prospect negative when prospects become spoiled mainly.
Yeah. So that we don't have much control on that.
ඒකට අපිට එච්චර පාලනයක් නැහැ කියලා කියන්න මම ඒක නවත්තන්න.
Right? So what can we do?
මොකක්ද අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාලට හිතන විදිහට?
We just have to call the other prospects who are not negative from the BA's list. We have to call the other category of prospects. Maybe not the family, other category which is not become negative.
එතකොට මේ නෑදෑයෝ ස්පොයිල් වීමේ ප්‍රශ්න නේද? නෑදෑයෝ අර වෙන වර්ග තියෙනවනේ ඔෆිස් වල වැඩ කරන අය හරි මොනවා හරි වගේ. අන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ට අපි කතා කරමු කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ ප්‍රොස්පෙක්ට් එකේ
ඒ හැම වර්ගයකටම මේක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක් ඒක ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ්ස්ලාගේ වුණොත් තමයි ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ්ස්ලා අතර එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔෆිස් එකේත් ඒක වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
It's not limiting to relations. It can happen with the friend circle also, office circle also is.
I agree. So whatever the circle is that is spoiled, your only option is now invite from the other circles which is not spoiled.
මොකක් කරේ යාගේ එක සර්කල් එකක් නම් මේ අවුල සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ සර්කල් එක මගහැරලා වෙන සර්කල් එකකට කතා කරලා කියලා කියනවා කරන්න තියෙන්නේ.
Correct. What else can we do?
ඒ අර මොනවද අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අහන්න.
ඒ කියන්නේ මම තෝරාදී තමයි සෑහෙන ෆයිට් එකක් දෙන්නේ ඒක වළක්ව ගන්න. තෝරගද්දී සෑහෙන දේවල් ටිකක් අහලා තමයි ප්‍රසන්ට් කරන්න පටන් ගන්නෙ. ඒ හරහා තමයි මම උපරිම උත්සාහ කරන්නේ ඒක වළක්ව ගන්න.
Actually, when selecting contact itself, I am putting a lot of effort and time to prevent that happening.
So unfortunately, maybe once here and there, rarely this happens. This is not very common, or is it very common?
මේක හැමතිස්සෙම වෙන දෙයක්ද කලාතුරකින් වෙන දෙයක්ද කියලා අහනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගොඩක් දුරට වෙනවා. He's telling not that rare, it's frequently happening.
Or it is frequently happening. So then, why does he say I put so much of carefully selecting people and all that? If it's happening all the time.
හැමතිස්සෙම සිද්ධ වෙනවා නම් මේ ඔයා වෙනම කට්ටිය හොඳට චීරු මාරුවෙන් තෝරගන්නවා කියන එක එතකොට ඒක එච්චර අගයක් නැහැ නේ කියලා. එහෙම කරන්නේ ඇයි කියලා. එහෙම කරත් සිද්ධ වෙනවා නම් හැමතිස්සෙම. ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම කරන්නේ සිද්ධ වෙන එක වළක්ව ගන්න නේද?
ඔව් වළක්ව ගන්න.
එතකොට මේ වැඩේ මුකුත් වෙලා නැහැ නේ වගේ කියලා අහන්නේ නම්
ඒක තමයි මට තියෙන ගැටලුව. ඒක මගේ ඒ කියන්නේ තෝරගන්න මම දන්න සියල්ල මම පාවිච්චි කරනවා. මම බොහෝ වෙලාවට එහෙම වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් මාකට් එක අනුව මට දැනෙනවා එහෙම වෙනවා කියලා මාකට් එකේ දැන් උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් sign up ඒ කියන්නේ කෙනෙක්ට කතා කරනකොට එයාගේ කොහේ හරි කෙනෙක් මේ විදිහේ ඒක ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකක් අහලා තියෙනවා නැත්නම් ගෙදර කෙනෙක් අහලා තියෙනවා නැත්නම් කොහේ හරි කෙනෙක් ළඟපාත කරලා තියෙනවා ඒ මිෂු එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ.
I am doing every possible things I know when filtering contact list.
Correct.
But maybe it's because the area I am doing business. Most probably a lot of people already know, or some friends did that, this, that. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to happen?
දැන් ඔයාලට මොකද්ද සිද්ධ කර ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ?
What do you want?
ඔයාලට මොකද්ද අවශ්‍ය?
Yeah.
ඇක්ටිවේෂන් එක කරගන්න තමයි ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉමීඩියට් කියන්නේ 7 days වලදී මට ඇක්ටිවේෂන් එක වෙන්න නම් ඒ විද්දී ඒ වෙඩ ටික ඒ විදිහට වෙද්දි තමයි ඔක ගොඩක් විදිහට බලපාන්නේ. ඒ විදිහ ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ කාලය අනුව මට කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා.
Yeah, his goal is to get the activation within 7 days.
Okay.
So these kind of things happening, so he is not able to do that
Right.
within that
Right.
limit.
Okay. So if this happens frequently,
මේක විතර සිද්ධ වෙනවා නම්
and you know that in that region, wherever you're doing business or whatever, this is something that happens common.
ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා නම් මේවා බිස්නස් එක කරගෙන යන හරිය පොදුවේ සිද්ධ වෙන දෙයක් කියලා මේ දේ.
So next time when you select the contact list,
ඊළඟ පාර ඔයා contact list එකෙන් කට්ටිය තෝරනකොට
what can you do differently?
වෙන මොනවද ඔයාලට වෙනස්ව කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක සිද්ධ වෙන එක වළක්වන්න? එකම ඒරියා එකෙන් නම් මේ වැඩේ සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ.
ප්‍රදේශ වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
I can select people from different area.
Right. What else?
වෙන මොනවද?
See, the people who talk and spoil, it is always within the same group. What I mean is, if let us say a new BA, invite people from family, then the prospect who came goes back and spoils the other people in the family. Correct? That prospect is not going to go to the BA's friends and spoil, or the BA's office and spoil those prospects. That is not going to happen. The prospect will only go back and talk to other prospects in that same group, because that is the only people that that particular person knows. Do you understand?
I also didn't catch that.
Okay, so let us say you are the new BA.
Okay.
And we make the contact list.
Okay.
Your contact list will have people from your office, people from your family, people from your childhood friends, your school friends, your university friends, and you know all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So now, let us say we invite people from your family. Let's say we invite your cousin.
Okay.
The cousin goes back and become negative.
Yeah.
Who is the cousin going to talk to?
Family mainly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The cousin is not going to spoil the office people and the other category of prospects, because that person doesn't know those people. Correct?
Yeah.
So then, what is the next step to do?
උදාහරණයක් ගන්න මල්ලි මම ප්‍රොස්පෙක්ට් කියලා දැන් මම BA කියලා මගේ කට්ටිය ටික අඳුරගෙන ඉවරලා ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් කරන්න යනවනේ. මගේ දැන් නෑදෑයෙකුට දුන්නාම නෑදෑයෝ ටික ස්පොයිල් කරන්නේ. නෑදෑයා මගේ ඔෆිස් එකේ යාළුවෝ හරි වෙන අනිත් යාළුවන්ට හරි සම්බන්ධයක් නෑනේ. එතකොට මේ වගේ වෙලාවක මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා අහන්න.
So what is the next step to do then?
ඊළඟට එන පියවර මොකක්ද අපි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? දැන් නෑදෑයෝ තමයි ස්පොයිල් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මගේ.
ඔව් කැටගරි එක වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
So changing the category approaching.
Right?
ඒක තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි ඒක කරොත් හොඳයි කැටගරි එක වෙනස් කරලා කරන්න ඕනේ. අර මට තියෙන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ එකක් තමයි new BA family එක කැලසුණු ගොඩක් අමාරුයි. යාව හොඳ mindset එක නැවත වරක් ගන්න. ඊළඟට එන්න මට problem එක වෙනවා.
So දැන් විසඳුම් ගන්න මල්ලි. විසඳුම් ඔය එකක් කිව්වනේ. ඔය දැන් ප්‍රශ්නේ තව දෙකක් කියන්නේ මම ඕනනම් අහන්න. විසඳුම් ගන්න මේ. එකක් කැටගරි එක මාරු කරනවා. තව මොනවාද විසඳුම් තියෙනවද?
කැටගරි එක මාරු කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම ඒක තමයි කැටගරි මාරු කියන්නේ එයාගේ කියන්නේ කන්ටැක්ට්ස් මාරු කරන්න ඕනේ. කුමර කැටගරි හෝ එයාට ඒ වෙන ප්‍රදේශයක හෝ ඒ කැටගරිස් මාරු කරන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. කියන්නේ වෙන කියන්නේ අර ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් නැති වෙන කැටගරි එකක් තමයි ආව නැවතට ඇක්ටිවේට් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ.
So that is the only solution he's thinking. Either change the category or change the area from his contact list.
Right. So, if you know that this is happening frequently,
ඔයා දන්නවනේ මේක දිගින් දිගට සිද්ධ වෙන දෙයක් කියලා.
so the next time when we make the contact list and select the people,
ඊළඟ වාර contact list එක හදලා කට්ටිය තෝරනකොට
then we will make sure that we select people from as many different categories as possible.
එතකොට contact list එකේ අපි මේ විවිධාකාර categories වලින් තමයි කට්ටිය select කළ යුත්තේ. එකම category එකකින් නැතුව විවිධාකාර ඒවා. මේ සිද්ධිය සිද්ධ වෙනවා නම් නිතර.
Right?
ඒ කියන්නේ මම presentations දෙන්නේ 20කට නම් ඒ 20 ඉන්න ඕනේ කැටගරිස් අඩුම ගානේ 7-8කින්වත් තමයි.
ඔව් ඒක තමයි. Yeah, we got that.
Huh? So then what happens is you're already selected. You put in your effort to select the people. And the people are already selected from maybe 8 different categories. So even if one category goes back and spoils, you're not wasting time because already you've selected the best people from the other categories. So you can still make the 7-day activation happen.
උදාහරණකට කැටගරි 8කට විතර බෙදලා තෝරගත්ත නම් කට්ටිය එක්කෙනෙක් ගිහලා මොනවාරි කැටගරි එකක් ස්පොයිල් කළත් අනිත් ඔක්කොටම ඉෆෙක්ට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට ගොඩක් දුරට ඔයාලට chance එකක් තියෙනවා දවස් 7 ඇතුලේ ඇක්ටිවේෂන් එක සිද්ධ කර ගන්න. කැටගරි 8කින් විතර තීරුණා. පැහැදිලිද?
But if you select all the 10 prospects from 2 categories only, then from one category one prospect come, attend presentation, goes back, spoils everybody in that category. Now you have only maybe 3 other prospects remaining because 7 prospects from the same category. Now you have to put all the effort again to identify more prospects from the other categories. Correct? Which will need more time for you. So if you are saying that this is happening so frequently, then right from the beginning, identify people from 7 or 8 different categories, 1 or 2 each from each category. So even if one category becomes negative, you still have 8 more prospects. Then you don't have to put in more time, again go through the whole contact list and all that stuff. You still have 8 more prospects. Right?
මේක නිතර සිද්ධ වෙන දෙයක් නම් ඔයා පළවෙනි වටේදීම කැටගරි 8කට විතර කඩාගෙන ප්‍රොස්පෙක්ටස්ට වැඩි කළා නම් හරි නැත්නම් ඔයා කැටගරි දෙකකින් විතර ගලොත් එහෙම ඒ කැටගරි දෙකේ කීප දෙනෙකුටම කතා කරනකොට ඒ කැටගරි දෙකේම කට්ටිය ස්පොයිල් වෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලට ලොකු මහන්සියක් දාන්න වෙනවා ඉතුරු කැටගරි වලින් කට්ටිය හොයා ගන්න. ඒකද පළවෙනි වටේදීම කැටගරි දෙකකින් කට්ටියට කතා කරන වෙනකොට කැටගරි 8ක විතර කට්ටියට අප්‍රෝච් කරන්න කියලා.
අර ප්‍රශ්න ආවද අය? මයින්ඩ් එක කියන්නේ
කැටගරි දෙකකට විතර අප්‍රෝච් කළොත් ඒකේ
ඕකේ. එතනින් එහාට ගියාම කියන්නේ BA ගේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක වෙන හානිය ගැන වළක්වා ගන්න.
මේ වෙන BA ගේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එකට ලොකු ඩැමේජ් එකක් වෙන්න තියෙන ඉඩ අඩුයි. කැටගරි දෙකකින් කළොත් නේ ඔක්කොම වගේ ස්පොයිල් වීම ඉඩ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් මෙතන කැටගරි 8කට බෙදලා කළොත් මේ ස්පොයිල් වෙන මේක අඩුයි කියලා මම මොන අහන්න පුළුවන් අරක. දීපු සොලියුෂන් එක ඕකේ.
Thank you.
All right. So the third aspect, the third area that decides your success to achieving a goal is the activities, right? So your mindset, your skill, knowledge, and the activities that you do. What are the activities required to make somebody activate in 7 days or 10 days, what are the activities that you have to do with the new BA? Huh?
Selecting right people.
So you got to do your meeting number 1 or the casual meeting, like what he was saying, whatever, you got to do your meeting. So meeting the new BA. What else? Selecting the prospects, right? Okay, selecting the prospects. What else? Doing 5 presentations.
Invitation.
5 presentations in 7 days. Okay. So maybe 5, maybe 7 presentations, maybe 10 presentations, depending on your group average. What else?
Invitation practices.
Invitations. Okay, what else? Follow up, closing. Yeah, but let us say you have a new BA and within 7 days this new BA should be able to activate. Okay? Fine to direct. What are the activities involved in making that happen? So you're meeting 1, then you're making the list, invitations, then the presentations, then the follow-up and the closings. Right? These are the main activities involved. Presentations. So these are the main activities involved. Anything else? Proper communication. Okay. So regular communication. Regular and effective communication. Okay. Okay, basic trainings. Okay. What else? Anything else? Results. Okay. Okay, what else? Watch DVDs. Okay. Anything else? Reading books. All right. Anything else? Okay. Introducing other uplines. All right. Anything else? Personal meetings and casual chats. Anything else?
Online sign up.
Huh?
Online sign up.
Online sign up. What does that mean? What does that mean? Online sign up means?
Somebody can't sign up.
I don't understand. What is online sign up?
සිංහලෙන් කියන්න.
සමහර අයට sign up එක ගන්න බැරි වෙනවා.
ගන්න හැටි කියලා දෙනවා. Teaching how to do the sign up like in website.
Or teaching how to do sign up. But how is that important for activation?
Activation එකට ඒක කොච්චර දුරට වැදගත්ද කියලා අහන්න. වැදගත්ද?
No, no.
දවස් 7න් activate කරගන්න.
It's no need.
Okay, so this is it. Anything else? Finding their dreams. Okay. So identifying their dreams. All right.
Guiding how to handle objections.
Guiding on how to handle objections. Teaching edification of the presentation. Okay, teaching the beginning of the presentation. Anything else? Teaching the closing part. Okay, so teaching the closing talk. Teaching the closing talk for giving the push. All right.
VP Arun, I believe the most key here to get activation within 1 week is the get extra commitment from the new BA. So extra commitment, that means he will have to put maximum day leaves from his job or whatever he is doing and come and start working next 7 days with the working apply.
Okay. Get extra commitment for getting the 2 directs in 7 days. All right. Okay. What else? Okay. Belief about the company. All right. Company and the business. Okay, anything else? Okay, finish? Yes. Nothing more? Huh? Family sign up. Okay. So that will come under selecting the prospects. All right. Okay, so if you have to do all this, you will activate them in 1 month. Okay? Or maybe in 3 months, I don't know. If you have to activate in 7 days, you cannot do all this. I'm not saying these are not important, that's not what I'm saying, so don't misunderstand me. All of these are important. And you have to do all this. But some you have to do before they get there too, and some you have to do after they get there too. Correct? So, what are the 3 most important steps or activities that you have to do to help them get there too in 7 days. What are the 3 most important ones? Write down on your book. From all this what we have here, what are the 3 most important activities to make the 7-day activation happen?
මොනකට වඩා තියෙනවා ඈ මේක ෆයිල් කෝප් වල ටික දේර මොකටද ගන්නවා
Did you write 3? Alright, write 2 more. So you wrote 3, now write 2 more important steps to make the activation happen. Yeah, 2 more. Yeah, 1 week. 1 week, 10 days, doesn't matter, but I'm just saying 1 week, you can, even if it's 10 days, it's still good. Okay? So now you identified the activities. Now the most important thing is, how do you do these activities effectively? See, doing the activities is one thing and being able to do it effectively is a different thing. Okay? You understand the difference? Do you know the difference between doing something and doing something effectively? What is the difference? The difference is in results. Exactly. Doing something, you are doing it. Again, you just did it. Whether you got results or not, you don't know, or you don't care, or doesn't matter. You just did something. Like you say, oh, I told that guy to be serious in the business, but what to do? He's not serious. I told him to make the list, but he is not making. I told him to go home and make the list, but he is not making. So that is doing an activity. Now, doing an activity effectively means you are able to get the results. So you do something, you're not getting the results, you think, why am I not getting the results? What can I do differently? Talk to people. Identify more effective ways of doing it. Right? Talk to people who are getting results. And you fine tune your way of doing the activity. Alright? And you improve it to a level where you are getting results. Now, no matter how good your activities are, you will never get results 100% of the time. Okay, so that will never happen. But you will get better results. So, the next step is these activities that you've identified, for you to know how to do them effectively. Alright? So, the most important 2 or 3 activities from this. You've written 5 activities, right? Identify 3 of them which, if you are able to do effectively, will give you much better results than you are doing today. Identify 3 activities from what you have written down, which if you are able to do effectively, will give you much better results than you are getting today. So just identify, write down, okay, this, or put a check mark, put a tick mark against the ones you think are the 3 most important ones, which if you are able to do effectively, you will get much better results than you're getting today. Okay? So I want to hear from some of you about those activities. What are those activities? Yeah.
Within 24 hours is the meeting number 1, or the same day on sign up, doing the meeting number 1. And the second, identify the correct prospect, who is more trusted people in BA, who will sign up without seeing the presentation. Find out the 5 person. And another thing, get the time commitment from the new BA to show him the business power until they get the first check.
Okay, so how do we do the first thing? How can we make sure that the first meeting happens the same day they sign up? How can we do that effectively?
We can, when we showing the presentation, after that prospector is okay and paying the money, and that time we can tell that if you need to be success and earn the maximum, I am requesting you to, when you pay the payment, in the same day I need to do a meeting number 1, because not because of my success, this for the your success. So that's why I'll get the commitment from that way.
Okay. Okay. Right. So now you are working with a new BA, right? And you want them to get a result. What is the result you want them to get?
Activation.
Activation. Now to get a result, what are the three things involved? To get any result, what are the three areas? Mindset, skill, knowledge, activities. Okay. So for the new BA to get the results, what we have been discussing is about your mindset, your skills and your activities. But the concept is the same for anyone. The concept is that for getting results, your mindset, your knowledge, your skill and the activities should be aligned. Alright? Now, the new BA's mindset and your mindset can be, that's a different thing. Your mindset is the mindset of a working upline to get that result. Okay? So I'm not saying you have to create that mindset for a new BA. That's not what I'm saying. But for a new BA to get that result or the goal of activating in 7 days or 10 days, they also need to be in a particular mindset. Yes or no?
Yes.
They also need to have some knowledge of something, whether it is identifying the people or inviting properly or closing or whatever it is, but there has to be some knowledge that they also need to have. And there has to be some activities that they are willing to do. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, the activities that you have identified should cover all these three aspects for the new BA. So, if your activities does not address their mindset, then getting that result for them will be very difficult. If your activities does not include their knowledge in closing or inviting, then getting that result will be difficult for them. If what you have identified does not include their activities, what is the level of activities they have to do, how many number of activities, their time commitment, then also you will fail in getting that results for them. Okay? So, let me use this. No, let that. Okay. So, mindset, knowledge or skill, activities. All right. What are the 2 or 3 most important mindset a new BA should have if they have to activate within 7 days? What should be their mindset? Yeah, but what is a mindset? Huh? What is mindset? Their thoughts, their way of thinking, right? So what should be their way of thinking if they have to make this possible? Positive is an approach.
They should be ready to do more activities, more presentation, getting ownership.
Belief that this is possible. You understand? They should have a mindset that this is important. Activation in 7 days is important. If you have to align the mindset with something, you should first of all believe that the goal is important. If you don't believe that the goal is important, then other things just doesn't work. We discussed that in before lunch. You remember? If you have to improve your mindset, first thing is you have to convince yourself that that goal is important for me. If you don't believe that a goal is important for you, you will not have the best mindset for achieving it. Yes or no? So, you should be able to influence a new BA so that they have the mindset that this is important. Activation in 7 days is very important for my success in the business. If a new BA has that mindset, what do you think is going to happen? Huh? Things will be much better or more difficult? Better or difficult? Oh, you are confused or you are hungry? Are you hungry? No. Okay. If you are able to get a person into a mindset that that goal is very important, what do you think will happen? A lot of other things will fall in line. Right? You don't have to now correct this and all small things you don't have to correct. Because you align the mindset with the goal, a lot of small things will automatically become aligned. Or else you have to just go and correct 10, 20 different things. Do you understand or is it confusing for you? Understand? Okay, very good. So, the most important mindset that you have to get a new BA to have is activation in 7 days is very important for me. Okay? Alright, what else? What's another mindset?
Getting ownership.
Huh?
Getting ownership.
Taking ownership, okay, what else?
Creating belief on him that we can do it.
Business mindset.
Belief that this is possible. Alright? Belief that activation is possible. Belief that you can make money in the business. Okay?
Belief about company.
And ownership. Ownership for results. Alright, ownership for making the activities or doing the activities or whatever. But let us say, if you are able to successfully influence a person to have this mindset, okay? Will your business become much better? What do you think? You can say, you can reply in Sinhala, no problem, don't worry. But I want you to say something. I'm asking you a question, so I want you to say something. Huh? It will help in how much? What will be the effect of this in your towards your goal? Your goal is activating them in 7 days. That's your goal, okay? And if somebody is in this mindset, if a new BA is in this mindset, or this particular mindset, how much of an effect that has in your goal of helping them activate in 7 days?
Yeah, very serious.
Oh, how much of an effect? 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%. Okay. So, this should be a very important activity for you. See, if this affects the outcome more than anything else, then in your activities, this should be the one of the most important activity. Influencing a new BA's mindset to this particular way of thinking. That activation in 7 days is very important for my success in the business. A belief about the business and ownership. Okay? So now the next question is, how can you effectively achieve this? How can you effectively influence a new BA to have this mindset?
Compare with his dreams.
Because you sitting with a new BA and saying that this is very important for you, believe that you can make a lot of money and take ownership. Is that going to change their mindset?
No.
But that's what most of you do. I told him to take ownership. I don't know why he is not taking it. I told him many times this is a good company and you can make money, but they are not believing. Telling is not making somebody believe. Okay? So, how can you effectively influence somebody to have this mindset?
We can talk with them about their dreams.
Okay?
Then after that, for that dream,
we can talk with them about their dreams. After that, we can compare with dreams, because they can.
Yeah, agreed. Let's take one by one, okay? Let's say, how can you effectively create a mindset in a new BA that this activity of activation in 7 days is very important? Okay, so let's do this. I want you to sit with your teams, all right, and discuss and write down steps, okay, on how you can create each of these mindsets. So how would you help a new BA to reach this mindset that, yes, activation in 7 days is very important for me. The mindset of belief in the company, in the business, all right? The mindset of taking ownership, okay? Ownership for the activities, ownership for spending time, because they need to put in time for making activation happen in 7 days. It's not a small time commitment. It is quite a huge time commitment. So they have to take the ownership for putting in their time. So how would you influence somebody to get into this mindset? All right? So can you discuss this? I'll give you 10 minutes. And I want you to write down step by step. Okay, this, step 1, this, step 2, this, step 3, this, step 4, this. Okay, only discuss about this mindset now. How would you create a mindset in a new BA that activation in 7 days is very, very, very important? Okay? Any doubt? Can you start? Yes, just do only that first mindset. Only do that one mindset. Not much, right? And that is the reason why there is so much of resistance from the new BA. When the mindset is not right, there will be a lot of resistance. You understand? So people who join our business are normal people. People who are just doing the normal things. They are not extremely successful people. And the reason why they're not successful is because of their mindset. Now they've come into the business. And without us working on that mindset, they will not become successful here also. So, right from day one, right from the first conversation onwards, you have to start working on improving their mindset. Alright? Now you cannot change everything in their mindset at the same time. That is not possible. So you need to identify what is the most important thing that I need to change. What are the first thing? What are the first 1 or 2 or 3 things that we need to work on a new BA? You understand? So, one of the most important things is showing them the importance of what they are doing. Okay? Always, if you want to become successful in anything, the first mindset change you need to have is that goal is very important for me. So that is the first fundamental mindset change you need to achieve. If you want to become good in 4-level duplication and master that, then you need to know how important that is. If you don't think the 4-level duplication method, oh that's okay, I mean even if not that, otherwise some other way also max out will happen. If not, I will go to on top of the temple and then pray on one leg and max out will happen. If you think that way, then you don't think this is important, right? That particular approach is important. So then your mindset is different. But if you need to achieve that goal, if you need to achieve, okay, I need to make this 4-level duplication work in my team, then you need to know why that is so important. So, for a new BA, you need to help them reach a mindset, first of all, that this business is important. Okay? Without this business, there is no other option for them. Like some of you said that. Without this, there is absolutely no other option to become successful in life. The reason why some of you are serious in this business is because you have realized that if not this, there is no other option. Alright, some of you have really understood that. That is why you are very serious. Some of you have not really understood it. Some of you know, yeah, true, it is important. And that difference is there in your results. If somebody believes that this is the only way I can ever achieve big success in my life, and you truly believe it, your actions and your results are different. So there are, among all of you sitting here, there are some people who 100% believe it. There are some people who say, yeah, it's important, but anyway, I have my job, I'm not broke, I'm not on the street, so if I'll do this, and I will make some money on the side. So your results and your activities are also different. Okay? So, for a new BA, one of the first fundamental changes in their mindset is that this is my only option. If I need to achieve something in life, this is my only option. Now, a mindset change will not happen in just one talk. Okay? It is not going to happen. But you can get started. Alright? There will be a shift, but that change process has to keep on going through various conversations you will have with that person over the next few days. Alright? So, the first time you sit down, you can talk or you can have a discussion on why this is the only option. Okay, like some of you said, you can write down the dreams, find out how much it costs, and see if there is any other option of achieving it, and all that stuff. So that is one. So you put one seed in their mind that, okay, yeah, this is probably the only option. The next time you meet, you put another seed. Okay, the next time, another approach, another seed of them knowing that this is the only option. Alright, so that the change in the mindset is something that happens inside their mind. You cannot force it, but you can facilitate it. Okay? Through the planting of the seed. Okay? So, this is the only way that I can achieve my goals in life. So that's one. Now, if somebody has to take this business seriously, all right, and if they are looking at this business as the only option, they should also be willing to do things that justifies that particular approach. Which means that you cannot be looking at something as though this is very important and this is my only option, and do it only when it is convenient for you. Do you understand? See, you cannot look at something and say, oh, this is my only option. And at the same time, you do that when it is convenient for you. Right? If it is the only option, you do it even when it is not convenient. If you are willing to do it only when it is convenient for you, that means you are not looking at it as this is the only option. Right? So, right from the beginning, you have to push the new BA to get out of their comfort zone. Do things what is not convenient. Okay, you should not make everything that they are doing in this very convenient for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, you understand convenience? When it is convenient. Alright? So, right from the beginning, they have to do things, even if it's only one thing, but it has to be something which is not convenient for them. Because that will give you an idea of, it will first of all force you to really sell to them that this is important. Because they will not do something which is not convenient if you are not convincing them that it is important. You understand? So it will force you first of all to give them that mindset that this is important. Because only when they believe it is important, they are going to do something which is not convenient. So, and then for them to actually do something which is not convenient, like what Suraj was saying, take some extra days off during the first week. That's only a suggestion. I'm not saying you have to do it, but If you have to make somebody do that, you have to really convince them that this is important. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So now it forces you also to perform that particular activity in an effective way. Otherwise, how do you know whether you've done it effectively or not? If you're telling the new BA, okay, the first 1 week you're busy, don't worry, only in the weekend we will meet up and talk, right? So now it is convenient for them. So how do you know whether you've done the right effective job in changing their mindset? You will say, yeah, I did very good job. Weekend they gave me 2 hours. Very good. Then you will activate them in 1 year. Okay? So there should be something that is inconvenient for them, that they have to do right from the beginning. Whether it is meeting you before they go to the job. Maybe they might have a job at 9 o'clock in the morning. And you say, okay, from this to tomorrow onwards, we meet at 7 o'clock. That's convenient or inconvenient? Very inconvenient. So if somebody has to do it, you should have successfully conveyed to them that this is important. Otherwise, they are not going to do it. They'll just screw you, I'm not going to do it. So, you are not improving in your ability to convey to them that this is important. Now, can you help somebody to make money in our business? Can you work with somebody to make money in our business who does not believe this is important? Yeah, right? You cannot do it. So now, how good are you in creating that mindset in somebody? Because without that mindset, it's very difficult for them to make money in the business. Okay? Now, every successful leader that I have seen, big leaders who are very successful, they make small things, they don't give them 100 inconvenient things right from day one. Then the guy will quit. But they make their people do things, inconvenient things. Every day, small things, but it cannot be convenient. Alright, now, if you are making somebody do something inconvenient, but if you have not prepared their mind to do it, then they will quit. Okay? You understand that also? If you just say, okay, he told me make the things inconvenient for them, and then you say, okay, today you join, tomorrow you come at 7 o'clock. What will happen? They will not come. And maybe that is the last day you are seeing them. Because you are not prepared their mind for it. So you cannot do those things without changing the mindset in somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? So maybe a few of you understand this, some of you don't understand, but maybe you'll understand later. Doesn't matter. But I want you to listen to what I'm saying. That creating that mindset in a new BA is one of your biggest tasks. Okay? It is not something you can achieve in 1 meeting or 2 meetings. It is a continuous process. But your success will depend on that particular ability of yours. So, like somebody was asking me before, how do we change this mindset in what area? There are a lot of things about the new BA that they have to change. And you cannot change everything in the first day or first week or even the first month. So, you should know what is that mindset change I need to start working on. So the first one is that this is my only option. Alright? It might take maybe a few days, maybe a few meetings for you to reach even 50% of that level. Forget about 100%, maybe 50%. It might take a few days. Okay? But you have to start doing that process right from day one, and you should know what to talk, what to say, so that that particular goal is achieved. Okay? So how do you learn what to say? How do you learn? How do you learn what to say to achieve that change in mindset? Huh? What is it? Exactly. Observing people who are doing it already. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Wheel is already invented. There are a lot of people in your uplines who can do it. That's why you are there in the business today. Isn't it?
Yes.
The reason why you are here in the business and serious in the business is because somebody in your upline was able to create that mindset in you that this is important for you. You understand? Otherwise, you will not be sitting here. So there are people in your upline who can do it. So learn from them. Right? Copy, model. No need to reinvent the wheel. At least when you're starting, no need to reinvent. Later, when you are becoming good at it, then you can create your own method and all that stuff. But in the beginning, no need, just copy but always copy from people who are doing it effectively. Okay, just because somebody says, yeah, I know how to say, talk to the people. But if it's not effective, if they're not getting the results of doing it, then no point copying. Well, you have people in your upline who are doing it very well, so copy it. Record it. Listen to it many times. Okay, so that's one mindset. That this is very, very important for me. This is my only option. So once you get into that mindset, next, creating the mindset of 7-day activation is much easier. Okay, because this is the only option, this is very important, and then you can, how fast do you want to achieve your goals? Okay, so one thing you need to know also is this interaction of influencing somebody's mindset cannot be a training. You cannot be sitting in front of the person and just do a non-stop training to them. It has to be a conversation. You have to ask questions. They have to involve in it. You need to know how they think. Okay? So you have to ask questions and get their commitment in between. Okay, do you agree? Is this important for you? Like, how important is this? From 1 to 10, 1 being not at all important, 10 being, oh my God, I want to stop everything and do only this from now onwards. Where do you stay? Where do you stand? So you understand where they stand. You should know how to ask these questions so that you understand what you're saying, is it getting into their head or not? Because the purpose of your talk is not for your satisfaction. Are you talking for your satisfaction? Are you getting money for talking? You're getting money for results. So you should know whether what you're saying actually is producing results or not. So you should know how to find that out. See, if somebody is having a fever, you can take a thermometer and then put it inside their mouth and see, okay, whether they have fever or not. But how would you find out if what you are talking is having the effect? Huh? No thermometer. No, result is coming later. But during that conversation, how would you find out? You have to ask questions, exactly. You have to, so it cannot be a training. You cannot be sitting there with a person and do a 20-minute non-stop training. then you don't know whether what went in, what didn't go in, whether what the person was thinking. You know, maybe the person sitting in front of you is thinking, why is this guy shouting at me? Right? So you need to know that what you're saying, is it going inside or not? Alright? So you got to ask some questions. And you ask questions like, okay, so you say this is important for you, so what are you willing to do from today onwards that's not convenient for you? So you cannot do this business and make this big amount of money by doing things that is only convenient for you. Do you understand that? Do you agree to it? So the person says yes. Okay, so from today onwards, what do you think are the things that you can do on a daily basis that is a little bit inconvenient for you? Alright? So, first one is, this is my only option. Alright? How effectively you can get somebody into that frame of mind, the better your job. Okay? The next one is importance of 7-day activation. So then that becomes easier for you to do it, the 7-day activation. Alright? And then beliefs. Belief about the company, about the business, ownership, and like somebody said, you got to prepare them also for rejections, the mindset to face rejection, to face negativities, why the negativities are there. All right. So, how would you come up with effective ways of doing this particular activity? So one is, of course, you can copy and observe from people. Okay, that's one option. Now, if you want to create, if you want to come up with identifying the main aspects under mindset. Okay, what are the important mindsets that we need to work with a new BA? Or what are the important knowledge or skill we need to focus for the new BA to have? You know, all these things. How do you get clarity on this? Huh? Okay. Do you understand my question? How do you know what to do? So right now we have been discussing, right? Okay, I'm helping you to understand what's important, what's not important, and all that. But I'm leaving tomorrow. So how would you? What is the best way to get clarity on important things? How do you get clarity on important things? You sit and meditate?
I have to
Clarity. How do you get clarity on what is important? Can you sit and by yourself and get clarity? Huh? A lot of people can sit and think, but we cannot, because we are not used that capacity. Alright, we are not used that ability in our mind. So, the best way for us to get clarity on things is by sitting and discussing. Alright? You sit with your uplines and your main leaders and take a topic. Okay, take an issue, take a topic, take something. Okay, let us discuss on the mindset of a new BA during the first week. Okay, you put that topic and then everybody start contributing ideas, talk. Then that's one way to gain clarity. Now, 90% of things that you talk might not be effective, but during the talks, there will be some points that will come up. Alright, so we are discussing a few things here today, but we will not be able to discuss everything. Alright? And as you start doing this, you will also have to make a lot of adjustments. Alright? As you start doing this, as you start putting this into practice, and you start performing this, then you will have more questions. Oh, this is happening, that is happening. How do I overcome this? What do I do when this problem happens? Right? So what will you do after that? A lot of you will stop. I tried this 3 times, this new BA mindset thing is not working. I don't think that is possible. It was good to hear that day. When he was talking about it, I thought it was really going to change my business. But I tried doing it too. Oh my God, this mindset, I think I'll have to open their head and do surgery only to change mindset. It is not going to happen. So a lot of you will think that way. Right? Because that's how, when from the time you are small, that's how your limiting beliefs are formed. You try doing something 2 times, fail, and you think, oh, this cannot be done. So that is your way of thinking when you fail 2 times in anything. In anything. That's how you think. And that is why we're not successful. The reason why you're not successful is not because of lack of opportunity, it's because of how fast you can come to a limiting belief. Some people can come to a limiting belief even before trying. Oh, that sounds difficult. I don't think it is possible. Alright, so when you try doing this, first time, second time, third time, things might not work out. So now, there are 2 options. Either you can come to US and then we can meet and then you can talk about it. Or you will have to find a way of finding solutions here in Sri Lanka. And the only way you're going to find solution is if you talk to other people about it with the aim of finding a solution. Because you keep it inside of you, you're not going to find a solution. And by thinking yourself, also you're not able to find a solution. You have to talk to other people and discuss about it. That, okay, I tried doing this, but it is not working. What other things can you do? Or give me some ideas or suggestions. And you sit and talk. And when you sit and talk, you will be surprised you are also having some good ideas. But if you just sit without talking to other people, this idea will not come out of your head also. But just in that process of sitting and talking, like what you did today, did you realize that, oh my God, I also have some good ideas? Did you see that? Did some good ideas come out of your mouth also today? So you got to sit and talk to people, alright? Whenever you have a challenge or difficulty or something is not happening, don't just keep it inside your head and say, oh, this is not possible. Alright?